do this.
We do what?
Shout out to Carl Klein with the surf cam. Megan, Farrell-Nelson in the house.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yahtzee.
Hey, Yahtzee.
This cheers.
Cheers.
Mimosas with no orange juice.
I thought we were getting a splash.
Nah, we didn't need it.
Okay.
I owe you an apology.
Sure.
I was like, I got playing with your emotions yesterday.
You did. You totally did.
I owe you an apology. I almost canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But we is here. I didn't know you were leaving.
But listen, I also called you out on it.
Yeah, you did.
I totally did.
Yep. And I said I can't cancel on her. I love her too much. So here's what we're gonna do. If you don't know who this woman is, she is a new mama.
I am.
A badass realtor.
Hey.
Wife.
Yes, that too.
And all the other goodies we're gonna get to know.
Yeah.
Because I fell in love with you when you were at Fuego back in the day. That's where I was
still
like,
my heart.
Because I remember I would go on like a random. My format was like Tuesday at 2.
Mm-hmm.
No one's there.
Yeah, chilling out.
Who is this at the bar? And you were working the outside bar, and I remember being like, you are gorgeous. And who are you? But you did you just had moved here then?
I think that was like 2014. I think I moved here in 2013.
So it was fresh.
Yeah.
And I think I've asked this before, but for the sake of the show,
sure.
Where was home before?
Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Scranton.
Like
the office.
Really?
Yeah.
So then you come here, and I don't remember why you came here. What brought you to our hood?
Man.
Mm-hmm. Was this like pre-Tinder man's?
This is pre-Tinder man's. This is like when you met people in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Met him in real life.
He was here and you were in Pennsylvania.
No, I was in North Carolina because I was teaching school. I was a kindergarten teacher in North Carolina.
People are gonna get mad.
Oh, sorry.
Yay.
Thank you. First timer here,
Yeah, well, boomer over here.
So, I was teaching and he was down here and
you were a teacher pants?
I was a kindergarten teacher. Yep.
You were like the perfect mold for like the pretty teacher lady.
Aww.
So then you move here, boom, forget about the boy. Yeah. Fast forward, you're here. You fall in love with the area, or were you grumpy pants? Did it fit your style at first?
No. So I've forever been like a beach chaser. Like when I was in Pennsylvania, we went to the shore every summer. We went to New Jersey and Delaware. And then when I moved to North Carolina, I wanted to be closer to the beach. Ended up in Jacksonville, North Carolina, teaching school, not military, although it is Camp Lejeune, the largest Marine base.
Okay.
And I just am forever chasing like putting your toes in the sand.
Yeah.
How do you beat it?
So that's always been kind of your DNA?
Yes.
How was your life in those moving, like if you look at it as like a forecast over the last, because it's been 5 years?
7.
Mm-hmm. How was it? Did you come here, you fell in love with it, and it's been like a constant increase, or did you come through? Because I love asking people, because you're still kind of new-ish. But you got a flow for it, but still, you're still probably, you're in love with it. It fits your flavor. For sure.
So I came here, wasn't working at the time, knew I wasn't going to be working, just figuring out if I was going to get back into teaching, what I wanted to do. And then I was encouraged to try real estate out, and I fell in love with that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
who was that? What was the segue for that?
Said man.
This guy.
So grateful for him to get me.
Well, that came out. That came out of it then.
Yeah. Well, and you always got to find the positives, right? And I truly I love Flagler County. I love Palm Coast. I love Flagler Beach. How blessed are we that we can take 5 minutes out of our day to put our toes in the sand if you're having a stressful day. And
I like that you said that. Yesterday I told you I was a dirty stay out.
Yeah.
I'll go more in depth what I did and how magical it was. But at one particular point in the evening, at the finale for me anyways, I don't know where the rest went, but we were in front of Johnny D's, and a buddy of mine who I've known for many moons. I don't frequent the beach with him, but he just walked down the boardwalk and he came back. I think he had to go pee-pee. And he comes back, he goes, how lucky are we? And I was like, we're so, we take things for granted so fast.
Totally.
And I'm guilty too, and I'm right here. So that you kind of have to remind yourself how, and all the coastal places in the world, it's an anomaly, right?
Sure.
Like you don't have big old buildings and got to go through some concrete jungle to get to the beach. So So you've always had that, huh? You've always had the beachy.
Yeah, I guess like I'm a beach girl. Like my brothers are still up north. One's in DC and one's in Boston. And
you have the two?
Yeah.
Any other
brothers.
siblings?
Nope, just two younger brothers. Okay. So they apparently like high property value, spending a lot of money on houses and shoveling snow. So no, they fell in love with the big city life. And I've always been small town girl. Right. Like coastal water is calming and soothing. And I just, you can't get enough. Like we're sitting here with Flagler Surf Up. Mm-hmm. Hey, Carla. And it's just so relaxing even to just watch.
It
and
is.
Just,
Look at the surfers today.
There's a couple of them out there.
Well, so now we're here, and I have to tell you, there's so many things that I haven't chilled with you for a hot minute, so that's why the show's gonna be so much more funner. I love the way you rock it.
Thank you.
You know that?
Thank you.
And even today, I didn't think when you said you were going to Target, I was like, there's no way you're going to make it. You're like, I'm going to be there at Burr. And I'm thinking Target's going to suck you away. Was this Target?
This is all Target. This is all today's Target.
Oh, on improv?
I had
the whole ensemble?
The whole ensemble.
What?
Yeah. So I reached out to my girl, Jacqueline. And I was like,
shout out
Jacqueline Santafonte. Hey.
You think we can get her on the show?
I mean, we're going to have to pull some strings. We're going to have to call some.
Couple more of these?
Yeah. We got to call some people to call her people. And I think we can maybe align it.
I would be honored.
She's expensive, though.
Yeah. I don't know if I could afford her. You were cheap.
Yeah.
You were.
Thanks. So, yeah. Went to Target.
Wow. Well done. Bravo. Thanks. Now, do you have, for the most part in your industry, are you pretty pants a lot? You have to go because.
I would say it's probably a good 50-50. I mean, you read your customers, right?
True. So, I love talking with the people that are engaging with so many. It's just crazy days. You see a lot of people in one day. So you got to kind of keep are you good? Do you have a good rhythm? Do you have a good?
So I'm totally putting my Facebook Live on for this this second because I feel like this is something that is totally right up the things I usually Facebook Live.
Go ahead now.
Chenzo, where are you? Here we go.
So I'm curious out of just how's Megan Farrell-Nelson's flow like? Give me a normal day. What time you up? What's this mama like? Are you sleeping at night? What are things like?
Yeah, so I have the angel baby who.
What's that mean?
He's just.
He's just an angel because he's yours.
No, he's so good.
Oh,
he's so good.
You're actually supposed to not say that because now he goes demon status.
No, apparently the next one's going to be demon status, but we'll cross that bridge if we get there. When we get there, but no, he's just awesome. He sleeps all night. He he's a lover, just like me and Brady. We love people and we're huggers, and we can connect with someone. And I mean, it's funny to see if he ever turns away from someone, we're like. That's an interesting choice.
But a dog, he knows.
He would not wave to humans. He waved to dogs first.
He's smart.
Right?
How old is he now?
He's almost 11 months.
And Jimmy and Amy's baby is about a year.
Over a year. It's October.
I was FaceTime with Jimmy yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was watching the little Bambino eating his dinner. He's an angel baby.
He is an angel baby.
Except he likes to sleep in the bed.
I mean.
I don't have a problem with it.
Listen, Elijah comes into bed with us. The trick is you can't do it 2 nights in a row because then he wants to stay in the bed. So you got you can
That's his name, Elijah?
Elijah.
That's a pretty name.
Yeah, Elijah James. So me and Amy have we did the James thing, and then Jacqueline's son is Emerson James. So all of us have Jameses.
Is that your mommy crew?
Yeah. I mean, my mom.
You and Amy are always, I see, at least running and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've got my runner girls, and Amy has James, and Sharon has Rocco. Sharon Rogers, you would know who she is. You totally would. And Trish.
Yes, Trish is the new mama.
Yeah, she's the new mama.
She's beautiful too. She's got she's new mama, 2 months, 3 months ish.
I think she might. It's under 3.
It's cool that you guys are all doing this to your little mommy crew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's just So if you're a parent or especially a mom, moms are loyal. Moms love moms and moms support moms. And
you're fierce.
For sure. Oh yeah. You come at one of my mamas, claws are out. And I just think it's a cool club to, join and just be a part of. And
I can't be in it.
Never. But you can, and that's why though it's such a
Do you see the boys hanging out or the boys more I don't need this?
No, dad's club's cool. I saw one of my friend's husbands the other day. I bring the baby over and I'm always and this is like the cultural thing. Like I'm always like to my girlfriend, like, here's the baby. Like,
right.
you know, 'cause she's like, ah. And actually 2 of my friends' husbands, they are like, when it's like quiet and everyone's chill, they'll like go grab him and they'll like play with the
Elijah?
baby. Because their children are older.
Oh, so they're sucking the youth out of them.
Well,
they're smelling them.
Yeah. But it's like they reconnect with the baby stage, you know, like even though like, and we just assume like moms love babies, but no, dads love babies.
Dads love babies. I'm really a bad friend. I'm not really close with a lot of my friends' kids. Sorry. I don't have
Rewind. You're not a bad friend. Stop putting that out there.
That's true. I'm a great friend, the best friend ever. So Jimmy was coming over here pretty religiously, like on a Monday. Monday was like Daddy Day.
Yeah.
And we'd bring him over here, and it was like my first Bambino in the house.
So why are you saying you're a bad friend? Like that's awesome.
I mean, I guess I was a good friend. Oh, Camille's home.
Yay.
And so she'll probably go around the back. She tries not to disturb the show. Hey, it's mommy. It's mommy. Stop.
See, you get the dad vibes. You got 2.
Yeah.
They're just hairier than mine.
Very hairier. They do sleep in the bed too. I'll never own maybe 2 dogs ever again though.
Yeah.
The hair.
Yeah.
It's non-stop.
Oh, she's coming in the front.
She's doing the front?
Come in the front. Oh,
she won't.
Oh.
She's so good. She's doing her whole 30.
And that explains it. She's always so beautiful and put together.
She's very stoic McSorson, and she's the witch doctor. If you need anything, she'll help you with her potions. She has secret potions.
Sold.
Boom.
Hippie dippy girl over here loves a witch doctor.
So mommy, daddy, Jimmy comes over, brings the baby. I love this little baby. It's so cool to see. You know, it's probably the coolest thing to see when you know someone that's pre-baby and then post-baby because you've known him your whole life.
Yeah.
To see how they're different in a good way. Like he turns into a little veggie table. He's such a little baby. And it's like, here's my goon. Yeah. Here's my goon that I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
To turn into a little sap. And it's precious. And it's really, really special to see that.
It totally is special to watch your friends. I remember before we had children, watching my friends become parents was one of my favorite things. One of my very best friends, Courtney, and her husband, Sean, is one of the dads that melts around my baby. I've known them since I was 23 and they were in North Carolina. They ended up moving down here. And I can remember watching her become a mom. And it was just such a cool thing and like so fun and exciting. And like, I don't know, I guess for lack of a better word, like it was beautiful. You know what I mean? Because it's such you like give up so much of yourself and like it's really cool to watch.
Well, I'm in the no baby stage, so I can only imagine. But it's I'm very happy for you. And once again, I love, you know what I really love too, when you were doing your marketing and your blues. I loved your blues, that thingy you did.
Thank you.
I really love that.
There she is.
You're very good at that though.
Thank you.
Where's that come from? Just grinding it out, dreamer, thinker.
So I try to mirror what I like.
Okay.
So if we're gonna get into like the work side of it, I love marketing. Marketing's just I have no like formal background in it, and it's funny because I think I'm gonna start taking classes.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's super interesting, especially now with digital marketing. Everything's changing. So yeah, I want to kind of like explore that more, but I like what I like. So like blue to me, it's calming.
Right.
It's like, this is literally, I don't know if I think they could see this. This is like my branding color right here.
I
told you I have the same.
It's one of my favorite colors.
That's my mug. I have the same one. And it's just like, it's calming to me. It's pleasing to me. I like it. I have one of my friends is like Miami Vice. And I'm like, whatever. Like, I love it. And so I just think like, the person I want to attract is someone who's similar to me.
So you're just emulating what you like, your favorite colors, your things. I love didn't you do little characters or something too?
Oh my God.
Are you still using those?
No, that was
like, oh,
did you see them?
I thought they were great.
I mean, they're super cute.
I guess it is. I had a
my button down shirt was like down to here. My hips were like, bam. Like it was.
Where did you get that done? It was
Jessica
like online.
Rabbit.
Oh, I love Jessica Rabbit.
I mean,
that was good.
Yeah, but what are we selling here?
That's true.
Yeah.
We're not selling. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I thought it was, I think everyone goes through a character stage. Yeah. I had a little guy for a while and then she hated it. My wife hated it.
Yeah.
Because it does, I mean, there's always a fine line that I think we all walk as contractors, so to speak, and you're whoring yourself out online and you're like really walking that. I think it's fair to say everyone, once it's posted, I mean, even before we went live, I know you and I were, you're self-conscious. We don't really like it, but we deal with it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are probably like, yeah, right, dude. But it's true. Like once it goes out there, you're kind of like, damn, I don't look that good.
No, wait a second.
Yeah.
The color, the shade.
Edit.
I should be looking the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to be said with the vulnerability and just the realness. And I think that was kind of the breakthrough with this little show is that I kept waiting to have the better stuff, the Joe Rogan status of the cool, the whole thing. And one day I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
Just going to go. And I still have like woebegons, like even a lot more and more people are like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I get it. I'm like, I understand.
Yeah.
But this is easy for me. This is like almost involuntary. But you see the setup. It's pretty.
I watched it and I was like, this is it.
Did you expect more?
No. I expected, I feel very, like, I like the setting.
Yeah, you feel it?
I feel at home. We're sitting at your kitchen table.
We sure are.
There. We're drinking some champagne on a Friday afternoon, like having a good time.
Right.
But it's also like, we got the lighting, we got the microphones. It's a setup.
It works.
Yeah, totally.
And if all goes as planned, by the time we're done, you should feel very good about what we shared and how we talked. And a lot of people are starting to tell me that they just feel therapeutic. Like they say, I never talked about anything.
Therapy? Okay.
Let me break it down I never knew that was what it's going to turn into. But a lot of the times once the shows are done and many days after the show, people reach out to me and they're like, dude, I haven't felt like I've never talked like that to somebody before. And I'm like, well, listen, man, I don't pray a lot of the same thing over and over again. But one thing I do say pretty frequently is make people feel something different. And I don't take any credit for it. I believe in the guy upstairs. But it's happening. So here's last night. Go ahead.
Can I interject? I want to compliment you because I think that's a skill you have.
Really?
So remember we were rewinding back to
Fuego days?
Fuego. Not even Tortugas. Fuego days. That was before
shout out Nick Kimball.
Hey Nick. So here we go. Nick
Mary
Kimball.
Poppins.
Mary Poppins in the house.
Only Nicholas Kimball. Now I think someone's here. Stop. Only Nicholas Kimball could claim himself to be Mary Poppins.
He did. He totally practically perfected every way. You know who's Mary Poppins? Robin Kimball. But we'll get into that another day.
See, not a lot of people have met the Oz.
She is the Oz.
She's the Oz.
She's the Oz. I love her.
She's behind the curtains.
She is.
She's kind of like Camille.
Yeah.
In a good, not in the limelight, but she's there.
I think that the Oz is the most important.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys run the show.
Nelson's also an Oz, though, by the way.
Yeah? He's an Oz?
I mean, yeah, he's back there. He's like my biggest rock and supporter.
Oh, of course.
And, like leading the way. Rewind back to your skill set because we were complimenting you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I went over. I have a listing not too far from here, and I cruised over to the beach when I was showing it. Remember?
Yes.
And I, like I said, try to take advantage of the times where I get to put my toes in the sand. I put my toes in the sand, and you were playing soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on Facebook Live, and I was like, that's Chenzo. Like, if you need a website, call that guy. And I didn't even think twice about it. Then I walked over, and it was you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we haven't seen each other in how long?
It had been a minute.
And 5 minutes into our conversation, we're sharing all the love of all the things because that's who we are as people. And you're like, podcast, you need to come.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how this all started. But would I have said yes after not seeing you for as long as if you weren't the human that gives off the positive energy?
Well, I appreciate that. And I think I check myself a lot because I know I cross every social line in the sand as far as you're absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Those little things. My vernacular is not normal. I get that. Meaning, and I know that I can sometimes offend people, guy or girl, but those that they know my motive is pure, it resonates.
Do you know what I was thinking about that? Because you're very kind and genuine with your compliments. And that's what this morning when I was like, man, he's always just building me up. I always feel so good after I talk to him. And whether it's my looks, my being a mom, working in the community.
Your hair.
It is. I know it's long. It's growing. But you are genuine with your compliments and intentional with your compliments. And I think at times, people can try to when they're trying to do things like that and they be considered kiss asses or brown nosers. However,
right.
I think the skill that you have is that you are genuine. It's not you're not just telling it to someone to
ask for $5 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you look so great. Can you give me $5?
Can you be on my podcast?
You look so good, podcast.
Podcast.
No, I really appreciate that. And honestly, I'm into kind of this I'm in this whirlwind of amazing right now. Nothing like it's very surreal of the people that are sharing their lives with me and the people that are, I don't want to say changing their lives. We're all growing. And I don't like when sometimes everything's about like, we're just going. I feel like there's no turning back. You just keep going. It's just surreal when people, that's the craziest thing for me. It's complete strangers just telling me their whole life. And cause I ask, so I'm not like complaining. I'm just not someone to say, how are you today? And then walk away. I'm literally like, yo.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, did you
I'm like, seriously, like, how did you take a shit today? Because if you haven't, like, let's get moving. Because I care about people and like, are you sleeping? Are you not? Because I know what it's like not to. But can I share last night with you? I was just thinking. I was
like, yeah.
No, the alien is coming to get you.
That's fine.
No, listen about last night real quick because I have to just talk about it. I haven't talked to anybody about it except for Camille, and I feel really bad because I kept her up till 3:00 in the morning last night.
I'm sure she loved it.
I hated it because she worked out at 8, and I have this really bad rule that if I'm up, like I want her to be up with me.
No, it's not a bad rule. It's just you love her.
I'm so codependent. So listen, I never go out after soccer, right? So I go out after soccer to breakaways, and I very rarely do because I've been trying to really behave. So I go out because it was a very good game. So it was just a really romantic game. It was a great crew. We go out to breaks. Out of nowhere, you never met him, but my best friend who had passed away about 6-7 years ago, a good chunk of his family come walking in. And I haven't seen them probably since like the funeral.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Right.
And I'm like, now I can't help but I had to go hard a little bit, you know?
Sure.
Go ahead, get it.
Telemarketer.
Sell a house.
Telemarketer.
It really says telemarketer?
Yeah. And spam risk. You got that on your new iPhone?
I don't have that.
You should.
What?
You should.
Look at you.
Hey.
Damn, you TikTok famous too?
No.
Do you have a TikTok?
No, I typed in TikTok and it said, you're 33, Megan.
You know who's going TikTok famous?
Stop.
My publicist. You know what she's doing? She's whoring the dogs out.
Hey.
That combined with her beauty is working. Not that it's doing anything.
Yeah, dogs and a pretty girl.
Boom.
Done.
Dogs, pretty girl, bathroom. Check. TikTok famous.
I mean, I feel like I have to see this TikTok.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah, great.
I just feel bad for the dogs because they're being sex trafficking. So they're not being compensated for their work.
Sure, there you feed them and
That's
pet
true.
them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So last night I made some decisions. I ended up staying out a little bit later than normal, and I was a dirty stay out. But it was a very magical evening because she never goes out. It's not her scene. No. She's never out here. She had Matt's shirt on too. She was like, she had like
purpose or just like
no. She's like, She was wearing a t-shirt. It was very cold last night, so she had like sweater, this, that, and she goes. And she pulls up like this one. And I remember the shirt because Matt was like me. Matt didn't care about rocking nice clothes too much. So the shirt she had, I'm like, I literally have probably worn that or B, like I know exactly the shirt that it was. So it was all these triggerings and all these, like my brain was just like being pumped with dopamine and euphoric freaking. I literally texting her, I'm like, I'm staying out, just because I couldn't leave the. Can
I tell you though? He was there.
Yeah, you feel that? I don't know if I get into that because okay, how about this? Not to sound trippy, but what I do is wherever I travel and it's something really fun and I wish he could be there with me, I'll scream his name like really loud. I don't know.
He's there.
Yeah, I guess you
totally believe it. Listen, you just told me. This is what you just told me. Rational thinking. Why would his family roll into?
Yeah, they never ever.
You never go out.
Very rarely.
They rolled into the same at night. Right. They rolled into the same place you were, and then she had his shirt on. 1, 2, 3. Boom
shakalaka.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very special. Yeah.
Can I tell you a story about last night?
Yes, please.
So my grandmother, whom has lived with us since I was like 15 or 14, and her and my mom were super, super close. Me and my mom were super, super close. I was therefore close with my grandmother. I actually have her bag with me, so she's with us now. But I called my mom last night. Oh, so when she passed away, like she was like right at the end, kind of like losing her marbles, like how it happens. And she said to my mom, Cheryl, if you see a toothpick forever, think of me. And my mom was like, what?
It's a peculiar item.
Yeah, right. She's like a toothpick, and my mom's like, she's losing her mind. Right. Like this is craziness. My mom last night was at the library. I call her and she answers, I'm at the library. I'm like, listen, Mom, I had the best day ever. I have to tell you. And it was right after you had texted me about the podcast today. So I was like, I gotta like just tell her all the things. And I'm like talking to her and she's like, stop. I'm like, what? She goes, I'm literally walking down an aisle. Megan, there's a container of toothpicks sitting. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, she's here. She's like, really? Like, you think so? And I was like, Mom, when have you found a toothpick in the library?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, in the library. For some reason, I'm thinking grocery store.
No, library. Wow. She was like walking down the aisle, like looking at books or whatever. And she's like, there is a container, not like one on the floor.
Right,
like
right.
A container of them on the shelf. I said, she wants to hear about my day too. So I'll just tell you both. But
Listen
it's like, it's real. Like, I mean, it doesn't, I'm not saying like,
no, I know what you mean.
Like ghosts and haunting, but like spirits like stay with you and, you know, or maybe it's just like something that we need to.
True, right.
To, you know, like that.
The world is a mysterious place when it comes to stuff like that. It does get trippy because sometimes this happened to me recently too. I talk about them all the time. We were somewhere and.
Can you drink your champagne, please?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to pace though. We don't have, I told you it wasn't going to be enough.
Hey.
It happens like that. But there's been a lot of those little things, like the little, I don't know, nuances that just remind you of a person or a thing. But isn't it? I think we're still kind of in this Kobe effect, right? Like everyone kind of got shell shocked the other day, wake you up. And I don't know. It really makes you realize that it all doesn't really matter. It's all going to, in a good way. I don't want to sound like archaic.
No.
You know?
Well, it's, I mean, so whenever I talk about like, you know, this podcast and like talking to my mom, when I talk to my mom about it and Brady and, you know, whoever I talk to about it, I'm like, it's literally going to be like sharing positive energy. When I shared your thing this morning, I was like, tune in for positive energy. When I just posted, I was like, positive energy, right. Because that's who we are. And I think when you're putting out positive energy, like the energies come back with it. And
I agree with that. And
I think that, you know, when you surround yourself with people, they're like people who want to be around each other. And therefore, like these situations can tend to, I'm getting real deep.
No, well, let's go with it. Deep. So I'm having like on average, sometimes I'll have like 3-ish meetings here, give or take on like a work day. Right. Mm-hmm. So they come here and I've been more and more personable where this is it. I'm just doing them. I said, well, screw it. I'm going to have the podcast here. Why am I meeting? It's just easier. It's more conducive. You know, it's like an hour meeting out in public, like 40 minutes of it is about the cat. And then like 20 is like maybe about work. Yeah. Whereas like when it's here, it seems to be a little bit more proactive because it's like, listen, when I have everything here, it's enjoyable. And
you're controlling it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have, you know, there's no like, oh, hey, to the, you know. So anyways,
someone walks in the door.
Literally, this is something that I will share in the privacy of the podcast and with you is that I'm
Facebook Live.
Well, that's the point. That's the beautiful part of the show. It's very fragile to me. And I would be too afraid to talk about it publicly when people are like, oh, how are you? But every person that I have here, most of them are grown-ass people, very successful to some capacity, trying to get more exposure. And they'll say at some point, like, I want this and like about me or something. And I'm like, what? And it's got to be the piece. Cause sometimes I ask and they go, what do you mean? Like, and they say, whatever, however you found this is what I'm looking for. And it really, all that I have is it's a constant changing of your flight pattern. I keep using that a lot as an analogy, right?
You're talking about the flight in the bus.
It's all about the flight in the bus, man. And it's been working more and more the more I use it. And all of my banter via text, all of my friends that I talk to and all that, I don't say rely on me, but allow me to be in their life. And I say, yo, check your flight pattern today. Where you at? Because we get so stuck, right? Work, this, that, same flight pattern. We talked about it. And it's very precious sometimes to just break it up a bit, look out the window, look at the beach.
Yeah.
Are you flying good right now?
So I am on a bus.
I love the bus.
Yeah. So he has
Steve Madden over here.
Yeah, I have a bus. But my bus is the positive energy bus. It's called, there's actually a book called The Energy Bus, which has made me live my life as a bus driver, right? So anyone can get on the bus, right? But if I don't like how they're behaving on the bus and I'm the driver, I'm more than welcome to ask them to leave my bus, right?
You do it right on the thing?
I do in front of, it depends. Like they might get a warning, like straighten over. They might get like one of those looks in like
the mirror.
Big, like when you're in 4th grade and you're in the back, like standing up and the bus driver like looks at you. Yeah. And you sit down quietly.
Stop
But sometimes like you just like have to be like, all right, pulling over on the side, out of my bus, like not acceptable. And there's also times where I think you have to realize like you open the door and somebody's there and you might give them like, hey, how are you? And you realize that first engagement isn't somebody that you really want on your bus or your plane. And you might not allow them. And I think that culturally, we kind of think like we have to be polite. But by not allowing somebody on your bus or in your flight pattern, I don't think that's not being polite. I think that's being respectful to yourself.
Right.
So my bus is going in the right direction right now.
You feeling it?
Yeah, I'm
good season.
I'm just loving life. I'm not gonna lie.
Let it out.
The baby stuff was a little bit hard.
Can I ask you about that? Because women. I have a huge request, a growing demand for women in the workforce, so to speak, quote unquote. Yeah, it's like really like women love the women thing, and you hear what it's like to be a mom. You're working. I mean, honestly, Megan, you're kicking ass, like you're busting your ass. It has nothing to do about your fiscal advantage. I've never asked you. I don't care what people are making, but just keep trying. And I see you out there hustling, so I appreciate and admire that. But I know, when I compliment people, I know that when I'm complimenting them, I know that you are in a shitty situation. Because we're always in it. Isn't it funny how even one day, people say, how's your day? We should be asking if you actually really do care and are you ready for it? Yeah, it's so powerful if you think about it. Ask someone, how's this last hour been? Because you could have 2 hours of greatness and you get one phone call and that sucky bus.
Because we are so instantly able to talk to each other.
Anxious idiots, man.
I posted a picture and only 5 people liked it in the last 1 minute. And it's like, breathe.
I do that. I read way too much. I was telling her today when I was having shower talk with Camille. Shower talks when I'm showering and I need to talk with her.
Door open.
Door 100%. There's not even a door on my shower when we built it. I was like, there's no need for this door.
You should podcast that without the Facebook Live video.
I'm just in the shower. I'm like in there. We're talking. So I told her, I said, I texted somebody the other day and I was very animated. A lot of exclamation marks. I'm not a big emoji guy, but a lot of exclamation marks, a lot of like, I love you. And I got back like a, yeah, no, thank God it wasn't that. I hate those. I've been doing that too. I do it on Facebook Messenger though. When you get the spam messages.
Oh, I don't even respond. So you're
really?
Yeah.
I feel so. You know why?
I get like the creepy guy like hand waving at you. I'm like, no, you don't even have a Facebook picture. Get out of here.
The blank avatar guy that was born yesterday.
Well, he was born at least like 18 years ago because I think you have to be 18. But he has like 3 friends and they're all like from.
Can we tangent and talk about? Because I asked most of my women guests, what is it like being? You're putting yourself out there digitally, right? Mm-hmm. We are 100%. Do you now? And my point is like I don't wake up to a handful of what's on the messages and stuff. Is it incredible? Because I'm hearing from my besties, like the chicks that let me in. Now I don't want to see, but they're like and they'll send me screenshots of just the quantity, and I'm thinking it has to work. I would imagine if there are so many dudes that are sending straight. Whatever it is, right? Like think about it. There has to be a percentage that there's some girls ruin it for the rest of us because they're got to be going, yep.
We're going to rewind those words because no girl ruins anything. I think that if you, I'm going to tell you real quick about coming after my girls. Didn't you hear me?
The bus just pulled over.
Take these earrings out.
Wait a minute now.
No, but I think that what it is that if you throw, are we allowed to swear?
You get to do whatever you want.
If you throw at the wall, something's going to stick, right?
Right.
So it doesn't have to be like, it just could be somebody in a weak moment where like a guy says, hey, beautiful with like a creepy whatever. And someone's like, man, I needed to hear I was beautiful today, And so therefore it sticks. However, when you're in a positive space and like, there's people who, I think the challenge right now that I personally am facing is that I don't know who is someone who genuinely wants to connect because I think there are people like you who will sit and say, Megan, you look beautiful.
Baby, you put the air down. Believe it or not, put it 69. I'm spicy. Are you spicy? That last night. That last night got me. It's coming out.
But
I see what you're saying.
I think that like there are people, and you know, my husband is also one of them that will be like will compliment a woman on her appearance because it's important. I mean, it's important.
I agree.
You know?
It's important
and
as long as your motive is right, man.
Correct. However, so I think that that's the tricky part is like weeding through who is genuine and that I can build that relationship with, and who is sending that to 15 women right now.
Copy paste.
Hey.
So, cute story.
Mm-hmm.
New guy working at a restaurant in town, right?
Yes.
Camille's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, you know, in a small town, everyone knows like Megan Brady, Chenzo Camille. Like so there's probably not a lot of the unforeseen like, hey girl, want to go out? Because it's like, oh, that's Brady's girl, right? Mm-hmm. But this guy had made a very nice, I think a very nice approach, nice pass. I wasn't there. And she was out with a girlfriend. She came home.
To me, it was a very appropriate pass on my wife.
Yeah, it was awesome. The way he went about it. He was, I don't remember exactly verbatim what he said, but I think he walked up to her and her girlfriend one night and was just a lot more, very respectful and very chitty chatty. And he's just moved here and he's young and he's very handsome guy. So she comes home and she was excited about it. It made her feel good. And that's fantastic. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. So now here's where the fun part starts.
Oh, geez.
Do
you slide into her DMs? Stop.
I love to slide into her DMs.
That's my favorite.
He probably was trying to find her online, but the next time that her girlfriend was there, she wasn't with her, and the girlfriend's having like family dinner. It was a pretty like, the guy comes up, he's like, excuse me, which I think is amazing. He came up, he was, excuse me, and he named her, like, is Camille gonna be coming today? And this girl can kind of sometimes have resting bitch face. Yeah. So I'm sure he probably felt pretty bad. Plus she was eating, so I can guarantee, I love her to death, but I can guarantee she probably was like,
yeah.
Yeah. So he left and she basically was like, no. Then a week or two marinates and the word's going around that like this guy's like really, he's just like smitten. And I think it's fantastic. It's good. He doesn't even know I exist yet.
Right. Okay. So like think about the times when
come on. So I'm finally back. I'm at the restaurant. He's there. She's there. We're there. We got a nice little car full of people. It's fantastic. This poor guy wouldn't even like look at me, not in a bad way. I know. And I'm like trying to make eye love with him at any moment. Like, dude. So finally he comes up.
Listen, I appreciate your appreciation for my woman.
Literally.
Right.
So finally I get him because all the guys that work there who we've known for a very long time are like, yo, that's Chenzo's wife.
He's going to beat you up.
Yeah. So finally I get him, not corner him, but like very timid. He finally comes over to me and I was able to say, listen to me, what you did the other day, don't you ever change. I said, the reason I got someone like that is because I did what you did. I said, in today's society, I know more men that won't talk to a woman when it's real, not texting, not FaceTiming. You went up, you were very genuine. And I said, and you're handsome and you're amazing and don't ever change. I said, listen, where are you at right now in life? So next thing you know, this 20-nothing-year-old guy who just moved here starts telling me that I'm not doing so hot, dude. Not doing so hot. I just moved here, not in a bad way, but just I'm looking for some
working at a restaurant, figuring it out, trying to get my bearings straight.
Bango. And he literally says,
I knew a girl that works at Fuego like that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find him a little crush too, because he's single, obviously. And I said, I'm going to do anything I can because he's a handsome man.
How old is he?
I'd say less than 25, more than 21.
Is there anyone out there listening?
He's a handsome
who is probably, you have to be at least 21 and less. I mean, shit, let's go to 30.
Oh, 30?
Yeah. I mean, maybe he wants an older chick.
I got my old
beautiful ladies.
Mm-hmm. I had a boomer friend of mine because we're boomers now. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh, he's big.
I'm a millennial.
Oh, I'm 35. Yeah. You are a millennial.
You're a millennial.
Yeah, I know.
How old's Camille?
24.
Oh, she's 19. We've been together for
16. No, I stopped keeping track of it. I don't know. I want to say she's 32.
I guess that was probably rude. Sorry, Camille, to ask on air. Sorry.
She's 63.
She's not good.
But the guy.
The whole 30 is working out.
It is. She did cheat one day, though. Bum, bum, bum. But you know what he said after I chitty-chatted with him? Mm-hmm. He says, A, no one's ever talked to me this way. B, I was not expecting this at all. And thank you. And C, like, can we be friends? Can I hang out with you? Kind of thing. And I'm like, yes to all of it. And thank you. And I shared that story with one of my other co-pilots.
Yeah.
Flight Pattern. And she was like, that was really, really special. Because I'm sure most guys just want to.
Well, do you know what you were in that moment? You were kind.
Boom.
And I think that we lose track of kindness at times because of ego, because of ego.
I was just going to say, that's like the most well-put. I think it's ego, right? People can't, how dare you?
You know? And don't get me wrong, like, let me tell you real quick, if someone comes at Brady, it takes me a hot minute. Brady introduced me once as Megan. And I was like,
what do you want him to say?
This is my beautiful wife, queen of my world, sunshine of my existence. No, I'm just kidding about that part. But like any other wifey out there would be like, I am the wife. Like this is my wife, Megan. I'm not just Megan, you know? And I got, right? Exactly. You're like, who cares? I was like.
No, I got you. Have you been, you want to know where this has been in the atmosphere? Supposedly Camille and I are swingers.
Hey.
That's in the papers.
Well.
Look at her. She loves it too. And also Camille and I have walked in.
Get her teal cup over there.
We're teal. We're a teal family here. We're all teal. You're tealing. She's tealing.
We are.
They can't see her though. So now they're like, who are you talking to?
Oh, the refrigerator.
She's out of the screen. We're swingers, and Camille and I walked into an inheritance. That's the word on the street. That's in the papers.
What an exciting life you have.
And I love it because we have insiders.
Yeah.
And they've told us this, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
Well, I mean, like,
don't
you sometimes though, like when you hear something about yourself and you're like, man, that sounds really fun. That's not true, but like it does, you know.
It's just hilarious, and we
not
have fun
the swinger part, the inheritance part.
But I think believe it or not, no hate to you guys. People out there that are swingers, God bless, good for you, man. I don't hate on it. I guess that's just their thing. Oh, you low power. You want the juicers stick?
Good.
I can plug it into the computer.
We're not going to get on my topic of swingers because I don't. Yeah, we're not. That's a no-go. That's a no. We're gonna flick that guy away.
Wow.
I have very negative energy about that, but I mean, to each your own. However, I feel like, well, I guess I should make my statement clear.
For the record,
I believe a relationship is between two people, and I don't like to see. I was cheated on a lot.
Really?
Yeah. So cheating to me is very cowardly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, that's something that you need to work out behind closed door rather than like in front of other people. I mean,
we're going deeper here.
We're going real deep.
Here we go.
And then swinging like when you're I remember right before Brady and I got married, do you know how I met Brady?
Nope.
He bought a house.
Really?
Yeah. My favorite real estate love story. We'll cover that another day, but he bought a house. I ended up moving in. We lived together for, I think, a year and a half before we got married. And I remember people being like, oh, nothing's going to change. Like, you guys are just going to get married. Nothing else is going to change. And I remember feeling like disappointed when people were saying that. Because I was like, what do you mean nothing changes? And then we got married.
I was confused. You mean like the dynamic between you two?
Like you guys live together. Nothing's going to change. Like, you know, you like, and I remember when we got married, I remember the first time he hugged me. There's a picture of it. Our photographer got a picture of it. And we got married in the Lightner Museum, you know, the little bridge in the middle?
Nope.
Okay, so Lightner Museum has a bridge in the middle of like this beautiful water courtyard. It's beautiful. We came over the bridge right out of people's sight, and we turned and like hugged each other. And I remember we were married for maybe like first time we're presented to there was probably like 30 seconds.
Right.
And the hug felt so different.
You felt it
so good. And you know, like that love just became deeper because for me, we invited God into our relationship. So, and I take my vows very seriously. And I think that when you're married to someone, you really need to reconsider before you, you know, look a different direction. Like that's something to work it out. Like tell somebody how you're feeling. And then anyway, I'm going to get off that.
No, that's good. I like it's funny. It's a funny topic because not funny, but it's an interesting topic because I think we're once again, I love using the term like 30-0 because we really have no idea what we're doing. Well, no one really knows, but we're really at that stage now.
We're going to get to 40-0 too.
Boom. I know. I feel like I'm 40-0.
Do you?
Not really, actually. I feel like I asked somebody yesterday because I play soccer with all the young bucks. And I go, what's my FIFA rating out there? Like, what do I play like? He said 28. I said, I'll take it.
Yes.
So even though that number's scary, I remember being.
I said 29 in 11 months, and I would have taken that shit.
Damn. So at least I'm playing well. So yeah, I feel good. My dietitian, my witch doctor, keeps me on. Keeps me.
Brady does too. I'm like, I have.
Who's the cooker? Are you the cooker?
No.
You're not a cooker?
No. From Thanksgiving, first Thanksgiving we ever had together was November 2015. We had the house that I sold him so nicely, and then I moved in, and then our parents flew down. My parents, his brothers and sisters. We had.
Where was he from?
He's from Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah.
What part of Michigan? Saginaw?
He went to Michigan State. So,
that's a big deal.
Go Green, hey.
Have you inherited that fan base?
Yeah, because my kid is dressed in Michigan State. So like, you gotta get.
Are you a big footballer watcher?
So I like the New York Giants. I like to cry on Sundays, and that's why.
How did you fall in love with the Giants and living in Pennsylvania?
Because I'm actually closer to Newark, which is where the Giants Stadium is, than I was to Philadelphia.
Interesting.
We just went like my dad like New York teams like Yankees, Giants.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Are you still like a sports chica? Do you have time for that?
If no. Do you have time? No.
No.
If the Giants were like, I really enjoyed watching the Giants up until like probably the last 5 years because they just,
they suck?
I get mad.
I don't really watch it anymore.
I find myself getting angry.
I hear they're horrible. Didn't you just lose your quarterback or something?
Well, he retired.
Aren't you happy about that?
He retired like 5 years ago, but it's fine. He couldn't give it up. Well, I mean, how do I say what they can do? Your glory days are still living out from high school. But like obviously I'm not downplaying the NFL. I think that they work hard and whatever. But I just it's hard to watch your team lose. And I was starting to have like physical reactions. Like,
are you kidding me?
Well, no, I was like mad.
Like, it was like ruining your day.
Yeah, and
I can see that.
So I just decided
I'm over it. Does
Brady
Brady watch one
or the other? So Brady is a Broncos fan, so he watches it.
Oh, okay.
He'll go with the guys and watch it. Like, we're gonna go to Super Bowl parties this weekend.
Okay. What are you doing for Super Bowl?
we have two really, really good friends of ours having parties, and we have gone to both of their parties.
You're going to double party?
A double party. We recruited our friend Matt to come with us to the double partying.
You're Ubering it?
No, Sober Sally.
You're Sober Sallying it?
Yeah. Do you know that my husband is letting me go to Mexico next week? So Sober Sally for, well, and not letting, but we just,
no, I know
that's the best part. Like, you give and take, right? So
right. Oh, that's nice. I mean, you could Uber, but you're just gonna dry out before you go to Mexico.
Yeah. I think that's like the part of the relationship balance that Brady and I have, and why I absolutely love him and I love our life together, is because we do things like the give and take. Like when we were talking about going to Mexico it's a work trip. Right. However, it's Mexico, right? So like our resort is literally oceanfront pool overlooks the beach. I'm going with a lot of my friends, female and male. And, he says, I trust you. I respect you. And he trusts the people I'm going with. He knows the people I'm going with. Right. And so he's like,
so you guys are swingers too.
No.
Anytime that people see you, if you don't do things that are normal, they're like, oh, they got to be swingers.
I know.
So I go on more fake dates than people go on real dates, I think. Just go out, hang out, be out,
well,
be
do
seen.
You know what where comments like that come from? It's because you are confident in your relationship and yourself to go out by yourself. She is confident and comfortable to go out by herself. So when they see you out separately, they're not like swingers. Other people are not comfortable in their relationship. Like people, I can remember this year was when Brady went to Burning Man.
Oh, I went to Burning Man?
You
went to? I think I remember seeing your photos. You're keeping it
real,
for bro.
5 years. Yeah. And so Brady's been going for 7. And I went.
Is this one of the best kept secrets? Because do you post that?
I share it. I am. You're gonna get me.
Do you keep Instagram separately? Well, like I said, if people took the time to listen to you, then let them have it.
Yeah.
Let them see the real Megan Farrell-Nelson.
Hey.
That's what I do. I don't post 90% of my real life, and I talk about it here because if people are going to take the time to listen, then you're welcome, and I will be honest with you, and I'll share everything. And
I think that's fair. That's a fair statement. I'm 100% me, and I'm comfortable. I love me. This has been a journey to love me.
When did you fall in love with yourself?
For the first time.
Mm-hmm. Was it post? Let it out, woman.
So, when Brady fell in love with me, I don't even know if he knows
Good job, Brady.
that.
Wow,
Yeah.
see, told you people tell us to say new things.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you felt Brady loved you, you fell in love with yourself. You started
because I loved him and I respected him, and I was like, wow.
That's really beautiful, by the way.
Right? I'm coming to it all.
Is that like written somewhere? Is that
yes, my notes right here on my lap? No,
That's really beautiful.
I mean, he is. I hope he knows how special he is to me, and I feel like I tell him all the time, but I don't know if it like hits. But I could not do anything without him. Like I could do. Even like in the driveway, I'm like on the phone with him, like, oh, this podcast. And he's like, is this a joke right now?
Were you anxious idiot?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
For sure.
Oh
I asked Jackie what to wear. I called one of my girlfriends.
Well, I knew that, but you're live every day.
Brady goes, how many times have you freaking been live, idiot? And I was like, I know, but it was in my control. He's like, how many conversations have you had? I'm like, millions. And
right.
He's like, bye.
Do you feel it now? It's like,
no, we're just talking.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got it.
No, we're
just
talking.
I think I would lie to you if I didn't tell you that there's always a little bit of butterflies for me at any show, no matter what. Especially do you want to know the most nervous I had ever been was when I had I've had two youngins on. I had Sydney, who's Susie Johnson and Steve Adams' daughter. Where has
that been?
You don't even know. It was
that's my girl.
She's like going to be the president of the United States of America.
That is my girl right there.
Or not to take any, esteem to Penelope, the daughter of Carla Klein and Barry.
I just feel like I got so demoted on this. Like I am not even going to be.
You're definitely not the coolest person I've had here because
were they together?
No. Penelope came.
You had them separately?
Yeah. Sydney came and did a show, and I think Penelope was like, psh, I need to do a show. And let me tell you something.
Do you mean Mayor P? Mayor P?
Mayor P
coming in hot?
Came in so hot, so stoic. I was nervous as hell because, look, I love talking with people, but I literally, I can say drug, sex, and alcohol by just consequence of talking. I'm thinking I got to really hold it down. Now, I've had many a banter with Penelope, knowing them, and that's why they felt comfortable. And the rule is mama sits there or the adult. So that way, so it was a beautiful show. But my point is she's there. And I asked her, I said, were you nervous at all like during the show? And she's like, I totally forgot I was even doing this today. And I was like,
does it even matter?
But that childlike mentality.
That's where it comes from. You got to get back to it.
You know what
Guess what? Children are innately kind. Mm-hmm. Children are innately accepting.
Mm-hmm.
And they are innately confident and they do what they love.
Mm.
This is one of my favorite things. I'm going to give Nicole O'Brien shout out to her little Mia. She was planning this New Year's party and like stressing out and like planning the New Year's, getting all the things, decorations. And her daughter, who was 4 at the time, was like, Mom, what are you so upset about? Like, it just has to be fun. Like, if it's not fun, it's
the daughter
not worth
saying
it.
this to
the daughter.
Mother.
Yeah,
of course.
What are you stressing? Like, if it's not fun, it's not worth it. And it's like, why do we lose that as adults? Because I mean,
when do you think it happens?
I think we get caught in like the rat race of it all.
High school?
Ego. But like, no.
Ego?
Or when?
Yeah, when?
Oh, I think, it's probably a lot of like the high school when, we're force-fed images, what we're supposed to look. I think innately it comes from this image of what you are supposed to look like. And then all the things when it's the money, like the money.
Is that what it is? I think it's the money.
I think a lot of it has to come with money, and like it's all about your outward appearance, right? So
yeah, that's always a constant, right? I remember.
I mean, why do you wear the clothes you wear?
100%.
Because you feel good in them, right?
110%.
Yeah. And I think but like you're not like fancy, so you're not hiding behind. And I'm not saying that people dress. I mean, I got dressed up for today because
there's a time and place for it. Because I have to check myself too, and that's why I love you. Is that sometimes I don't ever want to come across like, I don't wear clothes, and if you do, you're less. No, like that's not it at all. Like if anything, I actually kind of miss wearing clothes now because I would just be sitting here in a suit for nobody.
Yeah.
And I miss kind of the interaction of having to. So there's always the grass is always greener.
Well, and that's like what I was talking about earlier. You're like, what do you wear? What do you get dressed up like? And I'm like, well, some days I feel like putting on a full face. Some days I'm on Instagram with the eyelash filter.
This looks very effortless, yet very like it works. Like what?
Thank you.
But this is a perfected craft. We're always changing, right?
Yeah. It's inspired by Jacqueline.
That's like a clothing brand right there. Inspired by Jacqueline. There's your new.
It totally is.
We just
Jack,
came up with a
you're
whole
welcome.
new.
We want royalties.
And we want street cred. Yeah,
we want royalties, Jack, for your inspired by
you
Jacqueline.
heard it first here, folks.
Yep.
Jacqueline's coming out with a clothing line. But no, I was talking with Tommy from the Board Shack the other day. Have you ever talked with him?
I have not.
You know, when someone hugs you more than 3 times in one sitting, they're good people.
Oh.
We hugged 3 separate
We're
times.
drunk.
Are we?
No, we're not drunk, but like somebody hugs you 3 times in a sitting.
Or drunk. Yeah, that's true. But this was sober. It's a good point. Totally didn't know he was going to be there, which makes those conversations better. 2 hours. 2 hours I talk with him. I love him. And he shares so much with me about what he's going through, like his growth. And I share everything with him, my growth, the good, bad, and the ugly. And one of the things that I was telling him about was, isn't it surreal that when you ask a child what they do, it doesn't even register because they'll say, I have to be home by 5. But do you remember when you would get out of school and you had to be home by like nighttime?
When
and
the
those
lights went
4
on?
or 5 hours felt like a life. We could conquer. I felt like we literally, and I was telling Tommy this, we could have made it to Pluto and back. If you think about it.
I think we probably did a couple times.
Yeah. Like even if you lived technically, which I did grow up here, if you lived in the F section and I was all the way in the B, I could get to you on my bike.
I know. Totally.
And we still had time to play video games.
It's because no one was texting and driving and all that.
Oh my God. All this stuff that's resurfacing with Kobe, all his like high school stuff. What I find most interesting about it is not only being enlightened and being like, yo, today's precious. If you look at all the kids, because he was a little bit older than us. He was born in 70.
He was 42.
Yeah. So not that much, but just enough older to where, same with us, all the kids in the gymnasium watching him do his like dunk contest and stuff. Do you know what they're all doing? The same thing that we did. They're all looking at what is going on. It's really powerful. Yeah. Everybody in the gymnasium is not like this. And look, I'm guilty of it like a son of a, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's watching someone.
Do you know the saddest thing in my world?
What?
Can I see your phone real quick?
What are you going to do to me?
When my little boy goes like this and like knows how, he's 11 months. Granted, we also FaceTime, but he gets it. Like he knows when I'm FaceTiming, it makes that.
Oh.
And it's like, it's on his face. He's like jumping up and down because he doesn't, I think there's an anticipation. He sees himself. He's excited.
Right.
There's an anticipation of like,
mommy's coming.
Well, I mean, I FaceTime. If Brady and I, like, if we're separate and I'm putting him to bed, like, say Brady's working late, I'll FaceTime Brady. If I'm out of town for work, he'll FaceTime me. We FaceTime my mom. We FaceTime his mom, his aunt that lives in St. Augustine, like my brother that's in DC. And my brother has a baby 7 weeks younger to the day than Elijah. And, like, they'll FaceTime. And they're so cool. They're, like, making faces back and forth. But it's just so interesting that, like, it's like it's
an extension, man.
Yeah.
It's an extension of who we are. It's crazy. And I'm not even against it because I don't want to be like that guy talking about like, oh, it's literally made us succeed financially, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. It helps us. But it's weird. I know. It's very weird.
It is weird. And it's also very sad at times. And I'm also guilty. Like you were saying, you're guilty. I'm guilty like of, you know, I mean, if I shared with you my Sunday morning, hey,
we're going deeper.
No, my Sunday morning of like, you know, when it tells you your usage. It's like,
you look at that?
No, it alerts me.
Why do you have the alert on?
Because I feel like it needs to be a healthy check. Ugh. I have a 15-minute alert on Instagram. It tells me like every 15 minutes I've been on, and it makes me so. Well, it's.
You don't have the phone. Do you have the phone in the bed?
In our room.
Yeah.
Depends. Some nights, yeah. Some nights, no. It depends on like.
I'm starting a new religion. People are doing it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, put it in your living room. Who cares?
Don't bring your phone in the bed.
So I don't bring my computer.
Camille does. She can't do it. She can't break it.
Well, do you know? I will tell you this: that I do get like a little bit like if my phone's not in my room, I'm like, or like in the room with me, I'm kind of like
anxious idiot.
Well, because yesterday I went and speaking of, we got to come back to the mama stuff, but I went and recorded the first episode for my Connecting Mama show. But
I forgot you were going to do the show. Yeah. Is yours a thingy or is it is it an audio?
No, so it is a little TV episode.
Like an Ellen show?
No, like, hey, I went to the Glam Studio, Diana Costa in European Village. Went there yesterday.
Okay. That's who runs that?
Yeah.
Is she? Well, obviously you're
beautiful,
not going to probably say. Yeah.
Amazing, smart. Yeah. All of
I've been wanting to meet her, I think.
I got you.
She cool?
I got you, boo. She's amazing. So
we did this show, and I sat and met with her in advance, and we were talking about the reason for the show is back to like that mama stuff is like, all right,
rewind.
The Facebook group is initially where this all came from. So,
you had started a Facebook group.
Yeah, because
didn't something happen with your group or something? Did you have to like regulate?
Yeah, I had to regulate. So
what was happening?
I started this. So when I went back to work, I had a really hard time. Like,
that's what I was going to ask you. Postmortem, is that what's called?
Postpartum.
What did I say? Postmortem.
That means dead,
about?
but it's fine.
You're post dead.
You feel dead when you're.
Yeah, this is a real thing. You sure you want to not plug it in? It's going to die. I think you lost.
No, it was too long. They only let you do it for so long, and then
I think we're still on.
Yeah, but you have like your computer, and mine's on my phone.
Postpartum.
Yeah,
big thing.
Yes.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah,
you're okay with this?
Let's.
Because I've heard, me, I go for jugulars with people. You sure you don't want to? Do you want to do a thingy?
Oh, hold on. We're gonna just turn that off to make sure it's not like.
Well, we're laughing.
Not like
make sure no one can see.
No, they can see.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
so with me going for everyone's jugular and asking like, how are you really, really doing in this exact hour? Most of the women that I know that have had the babies have this what is it again?
Postpartum depression.
What is it exactly for those like me that don't really get it? And I'm not trying to make light of this. I know this is a very serious thing.
All right, so let's get down to the biological part of it, right?
Here we go.
You are growing a human being. It could be a male, it could be a female.
Mm-hmm.
If you are as a female, if you are growing a male, obviously there's more testosterone being like introduced to your system, right? Because you're growing.
True. Mm-hmm.
If you are growing a female, there's obviously more estrogen in your system. So like you've got more of one or the other. It doesn't like my opinion. I mean, I had a boy, so I only know what I went through, but I still had morning sickness, like all the things. And
after the baby?
No, before. But they were like saying, but that's part of the journey is like when you're going through it all, like you're having like, like it's like there's symptoms of like your chemicals move or the hormones and chemicals moving through you. So, you go through this beautiful thing called childbirth.
Right.
So beautiful and painful. And honestly, like.
Can I ask how you had it?
Oh, I had the baby at home.
Really?
I told you, me and the witch doctor, we are like on the same level.
Like you didn't have the cease thingy?
No.
Yeah, the real old fashioned like tribal birth. Good for you.
Yeah, Brady.
Spinal tap, all that jazz. Thank you for being candid. I don't know if I'm being too intrusive, but this stuff is fascinating.
No, my living room. Had the baby in my living room.
Did they have the nurses and everything come?
Nope.
Get out of town.
I had a midwife.
Oh, midwife is the one lady that comes.
So she can give me an IV if I need it, and she can give me give me a shot.
Right.
But like, no.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You had it at your house.
Mm-hmm.
What a special. I have to ask these things. Were you freaked out that like you saw, like, God forbid, something like you're only in a house, or you were just.
No, so here's like the other thing about our society. I feel like we treat pregnancy like it's an illness. And it's not. It's the most natural thing that a human being does, right?
Yeah, I've never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So like when I tell people I was having the baby at home, they're like, oh,
"You're gonna die like me." Did your legs fall off?
Yeah,
like I can't even imagine.
I'll share a story off this about like a friend who like really kind of like was like, you can die doing that. And I was like, you can die going to Publix.
And the bus.
Yeah, anything. And so it's not like I was like going out back and like in my yard. It was like very controlled. I had a midwife. I had the same amount of checkups as it's regulated by the state.
When did you know you wanted to do that? Like always?
So I knew I didn't want to have the baby in a hospital always because I know another one of my friends said that she didn't know she had the baby. She got an epidural. She didn't know she had the baby until she heard it crying. And I was like, I just feel like that's extreme. And listen,
I see
can I disclosure, like,
you do whatever you want.
Each your own, I'm not a judgy. Like if you want an epidural, that's your choice. This was mine. And I trust you to make the best decisions for you and your body and your baby. And this is just my journey that I went on. I think a lot of times we can get like competition kind of like with moms and like one person says one thing and
the women rivalry.
Yeah. But we made that decision about halfway through. It had a little bit to do with insurance.
Okay.
And my child being born after, like I was pregnant 1 year and then my child was born the next year. So I had like
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a little bit to do with insurance, and it was also a lot to do with I didn't want a lot of interventions because I trusted my body.
What do you mean intervention? Like medical interventions?
Yeah. So like Pitocin, that's considered an intervention. An epidural, that's an intervention.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of things that. Well, and think about it. Like you're trying to, it's extremely traumatic.
I'm sure. Yeah. How long was your labor?
6 hours.
Is that a normal?
No, they're usually longer.
So it was good.
Yeah. My water broke at 11:44. I woke Brady up and he asked me if I was sure. And then we got the movie scene. That's what, TMI.
Oh.
They tell you that doesn't happen. It does. It does sometimes. Wow. But my mom was
remember
there.
Like it was yesterday, I'm sure, huh?
Oh, gosh.
11:40-ish?
11:44.
On a Sunday?
It was a Monday night after I went to
11:45 p.m.
p.m. Brady was sleeping already. My mom was down from Pennsylvania. She was in our guest room, and we went in and told her, like, hey, just so you know, water broke. We called all our family, went back.
Were you past due, overdue?
Oh my God, it was like 2 weeks overdue. Yeah.
So any second you were.
Yeah. And I started cleaning, and Brady's like, lay down, like chill out, the blanket.
Did you have the war room ready?
No, we had all the things. We had all the things, but it wasn't like ready yet. So we like got everything ready. Like,
was he how were you guys like mentally? Was he Stoey McStorison or was he? Brady
is like the hero of my world. Like
he's so chill. He was like,
oh my gosh, he's perfect and wonderful. And so once I started like going into labor when it was like painful, the real one. And I was like, F this, take me to the like screaming. Oh, by the way.
Oh, you had rewind.
Before I went into like pain, I like went over and I checked on my mom. I was like, Mom, we're going to lay down. She's like, I've got my bag packed. I'll leave. I'm like, you're not going anywhere, lady. Like you are stuck with me.
Right.
So she stayed, but then I was like started in labor and I was like, F this, take me to the hospital. I can't do this.
What hour? Like first hour in?
Oh, like first like 20 minutes in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, it's like.
And Brady's like, yo.
It's like your body is literally twisting in two directions to like. That's like it doesn't go like this. It twists to put like it's like when you
just feel your
everything. It's a lot.
And you had no interventions.
No interventions. Brady went like this. Like he literally was like
plan.
Eyes, and he was like, "You can do this." And it was like he's like, "You made this plan. Like this is the decision we made. This is what you want." And he's like, we've got this. Like, you've got this. And I'm not kidding. Like,
I could feel it.
When he was hard, like when it was hard and like it was going up in the pain, he was like, listen, you got like 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2. Nice. And it would start going down. And I'd be like,
he was straight coaching it.
Oh my gosh.
Midwife is in at what point?
Until he decided not to call the midwife after I told him 3 times to call her. But I mean, it's fine because she got there and I was not 10. I was only 9.5 centimeters dilated. So like the baby was just like almost there. But no, it all went well. We ended up having a water birth and it was.
Oh, it was in the bathtub?
No, we had a tub that was for it in the living room. This is
so fast. I've seen of it online. I always thought, what a unique.
It was amazing. Wow. It was truly. Carla actually, she had the baby at home.
Yeah, she shared that with that on the show too.
And it was Christmas time, and I was just talking to her, and I was like, oh God, I'm like so like it's getting to that point where I'm like 3 months out, and she was like. It was right. She tells a really funny story, but she was like so encouraging of like what an experience. And every person, Robin Kimball, also somebody I went to, she had both boys at home. And whenever I talked to them about having their baby at home, they just talked about what a wonderful experience it was. And, you know, I again, like I said, I'm not knocking anyone's choices.
No, I don't think you're coming off that way at all. Yeah.
But like when I talk to people who had their babies in hospitals, they never talked about the experience. They might have said it was great or whatever, but like when they were talking about it at home, like it was just so much.
It's not a sentimental feeling in a house. It's
well, it could be.
Maybe I guess you're saying, but I'm saying the likelihood of it being at home. You're at home. It's very nice. That sounds great.
Yeah, and you know, like no one's like sticking needles and like you know, I didn't have any.
You don't have 30 strangers too dealing with you, right?
That's the other part of it, and I think just for me that worked, and we would 100% do it again. You know, it was just something that was very special to us, and yeah, and it was just I
can taste it, especially I can feel the passion. So that's what a story that is, and now you can never sell the house though. That's what I think about.
So it's
if I felt like
it's my townhouse that we have rented right now.
No, because there's not a good juju in it. I think Carla actually said that about once. We were joking around, and she said, I don't know, it's just like special. It becomes such a special place. Like, wow, like Penelope was born in here. Oh, Penelope had to make sure she was able to tell me, like, I was born in Flagler.
Like literally.
And I'm like, I know.
There's no hospital,
like,
so like
you
not
are
many people
Flagler.
can say.
She is Mayor P.
I was born on the beach, on the pier. It was a very special ceremony.
But what an experience for you guys.
It was cool.
And Brady is Mr. Stoic. I've never met him. I've asked a lot of questions about him because I'm nosy McNoserson, and I love to be like, yo, what's the story on this guy? Because of course I was like, it happened like overnight. I felt like he came in like a Aladdin. He just flew in on his carpet and he stole you.
He did.
And you fell in love, which is great.
I protested dating for a long time. Like I was like, I like him, but like I just wasn't ready for it. And then like the second I was like, I'm all in, we were all in, and it was just like, so I don't know. It's just like,
isn't companionship special?
So special.
I know you and I both know a lot of people that are not in companionships, and it's tough, man. And I think the reason why people share with me so much is because I don't say like, I know what it's like. I don't know what it's like, man. I've been retired out the game for 10-ish years because I had courted old school, and before we've been married 7, but I was like Leave It to Beaver status with her. Like I had retired, and I think it's very important for those that really ask me, that are like, yo, dude, how did you find that? And how did you do this? And I say, my rule was, it's not romantic. I literally looked for every reason not to marry someone. Like, and the same thing I do with my whole life's experiences. Let's look for every reason not to do something. And when the good outweighs the bad, and I wasn't literally jotting this stuff down, but don't be so, life is romantic, but life is real too. So don't run away from like stuff that, you meet people and they think, whether it's companionship, whether it's a job, whether it's a trip, and they're like, yeah, I know the coronavirus is there, but we're going to make the best of it. And it's like, okay, well, that's on you. Like you're putting yourself in that position. So be ready for the ramifications. The same thing when it's like, yeah, he's on pills right now, but he'll get out of it. Okay. All right. And then 10 years go by and they're not out of it. And I'm not trying to sound like a jerk 17 over here. Like I know people are going through shit and it is what it is.
Sure.
But look, I feel like we all have a responsibility to kind of, I'm not into the whole like manifesting thing. I think it's true, positivity and things like that. But put it this way.
Bring it to me.
If I held this glass the whole time like this whole show, probably not the best decision because the probability of it falling is now a little bit higher
than if it's
ever. You want to live on the edge. Good.
Yeah.
But you have to also be prepared for the shatter. And then you have to clean it up if you so choose. And if not, then you step on the glass. But my point is, right. So that's kind of, I find it, I don't make light of those that are not in companionships. That shit is real and it's tough. And I love every single one of you that share your lives with me that aren't in it. And I say, wait, don't just quantity it. Wait for that quality effect.
Well, and I think something that's super important that someone once told me, that you need to find someone you can struggle with. Because like the good's easy, right? Like if everything's good, everything's happy, money's good, life's good, everybody's happy-go-lucky.
You're always
I got you. But like if you like when like shit hits the fan, you need someone who's gonna be like there with you, who's gonna like hold you while you're crying, who's going to, help you put on that happy face. I know this is like it's pop culture-ish, but like Brad Pitt once was, I read it. I don't know if this is actually true, but he said that like Angelina Jolie was like in a bad place and she was just unkind. She was lashing out at him. And he said he just started buying her flowers and he wasn't like rewarding that negative because people, like, you assume you're rewarding that negative behavior by reinforcing it with like positive, but really like if someone buys me flowers and I'm shitting on them all the time, I'm going to start to change my behavior to someone who's being kind. You know what I mean? That's why I think kindness is such a cool thing.
It's not cool, actually. Can I take in parallel with what you're saying? So yesterday, one of the amazing things that came out of it, because I'm a life sucker. Like I love learning. And in those environments where I was sitting with Matthew's family, the sister was telling me how she's going through some family kerfuffle.
Yeah.
And she's been done wrong lately for some family who hasn't, right? And she's like, you know what I said?
Love them.
Not only that, but send an apology right now. And those that know that I've messed with you somehow, some way, whether on like inadvertently or like on purpose, which none of them are on purpose, but I literally, all of my apologies start with this. because it's not glitz and glam. It's I have a moral and a spiritual obligation to do this.
For sure.
So let's just get this out of the way.
Yeah.
I got to be socially debt free and spiritually debt free.
Yeah.
And when you do that, and you don't clothe it in the sheep's clothing, where it's like, and it's provoking. Because I close on my apologies with, this isn't to provoke you either. This isn't like, sorry, Megan. It's literally like, hey, I think I've been made aware that I've affected you negatively. Yeah. I have a spiritual moral obligation. And then, of course, her sisters and cousins were like, bet. And I'm telling my sister, Matthew's sister, I'm saying, this is what you taught me, because she's way older than us. Not way older, but
but I think that's the thing, that like we get caught in our own stuff.
Right.
And like when you are advising someone else, like that's the hardest part, is to listen to your own advice, because
I know, once you're in it.
Yeah, when you're in it. Hey, I did my job, but we might need a commercial break.
Can I go pee potty? Go for it.
We're like 2 hours.
I'll go too then. Are you still good on time then? Because I'm fine.
Let's see, what time is it?
We've done pee times in the middle of the show.
We got nothing. Listen, I brought one. Let's roll with it. Let's roll.
I don't check anymore. I'm sure they are. I don't know.
So right now they're silent.
Yeah. You want to do that? These?
No.
Those. Are you good? We'll just go.
Yeah. Is it on right now?
Yeah, we're still on. We're mid-show.
We're regrouping.
Sometimes we get kicked off. I don't think so. Nope, we're still on. I don't look at the comments and stuff, because I think we're in the future. So like if I look at them, not by much, but people will comment and be like, something we're not talking about anymore. I love you very much. Thank you for doing this again.
Of course. I'm going back on mine. That's why I'm.
Okay. Do you want to get plugged in with the wire?
I do want to get plugged in.
Baby, can you give her the wire, the juice cord, so she plug it into her computer or something? Does your computer?
Yeah.
You have a webcam blocker on your thing? That is hilarious.
Yeah, because.
Oh my gosh.
I do. Thanks, girl. So this one's computer. That's the fancy password. I've got the old school. I got both, but this one plugs into the computer, so let's do that guy.
That is hilarious.
I mean, I guess I could also.
Is that a password on the left-hand side?
That's my password for my office.
That is so funny. Boomer. You're no millennial.
What? Listen.
Babe, she wants to see your TikTok later.
Do you know who? Yeah, I do want to see your TikTok, because I don't think I'm allowed to join it. The reason I have it up there is because I've got boomers who don't change it to a real word. Whatchamacallit's up there.
All right, you good?
All right, here we go. We are.
What?
We're back in action.
I'm really. I thank you so much for sharing me the birth story. What a powerful thing.
I did
So
share my birth story.
Here's what happens, right? I have someone like you come on the show, and then I'll have more people get in touch with me, and women. I think women are watching more than dudes. I don't know. I don't check my statistics. Are we good? Are you good?
I think we're good. You look good.
I should just hire you as like my videographer. You should just do it. But no, I think women love to. Well, first of all, women hate good, strong too. Though girls can be. You guys are some fierce creatures.
We are.
Women on women hate is strong. Like dudes will be like, bro, you got a small dick. Say something stupid. Where women are like, you're not a good mother.
Your eyebrows are off.
Yeah.
For like 2 weeks. So like, my eyebrows.
Do you actually get with as much as you put yourself out online? Do you get weird messages like
from women?
Fix yourself? No, in general, like strangers, like trolls. I don't, because I'm not famous, so I don't get like, you look like a fat jerk. What's this?
Oh my goodness.
Look
rude.
at
it's rude. That's what it is.
Answer it. Lead. We'll take a call.
No,
we're taking calls here live.
Taking calls live.
But have you dealt with that? Because
I mean, yeah, like of course, like to an extent, I am. I at one point had a business partner whose wife, he was a male, and obviously I'm female, and his wife didn't like it, and she like spread some rumors that I was like trying to play house with him and stuff. This is before Brady. Well, this is when I was with Brady, and it's honestly funny because it was one of the girls told her husband, who's in our circle, and her husband was like, "Have you ever seen Megan and Brady together?" Like, she's not messing around behind Brady's back, you know. And it's just like I think that.
How did you deal with that? That's the last time we talked. I had mine. Did I tell you about mine?
Nope.
I had mine. Mine came to a reckoning this year. I got stabbed figuratively last year around this time. Someone thought it was going to be in their best interest to use me in marketing paraphernalia as like what not to do.
You told me this.
And to work with. Never have I ever.
They called you, didn't they?
Called me out. They didn't. They used my persona, my look,
but they
my
came
feel.
back to you, right?
Yeah, I did tell you.
Yeah.
Tell you. Let me tell you. So
Put out
2020 has
positive
been like crazy. So
it's the longest 700-day month of my life. January.
700-day month.
I feel like January is just lasted forever.
Speaking in witchcraft, I was like, what? Oh, someone posted a meme the other day. It said, it's January. It's something like it's January. We're going into like March.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like it just skipped February.
What happened?
But no, it you know, like I have no qualms in telling the people of the earth, like that shit hurts, man. Like I don't care. You want to make fun of me? It absolutely hurts. I am not too cool, or I don't think I'm cool enough to where if you want to make fun of whether it's my physical appearance, whether it's my whatever it is, even if it's my workmanship, that shit stings, son.
You come at me and I have like a reaction, but you come at my people, I have even a bigger one. But like me, I can kind of take, I mean, I guess like it's just, I guess maybe it's part of being like a female, like we've had girls go after each other from the time you're 13, you know? And so I think like you just like,
did you have more dude friends or guys, girlfriends?
Even to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my girls are my girls right now. Like I have like a solid group.
We got that mom crew.
Got my mom crew that like you don't mess with the mom crew. But I've always just been like closer with guys. Just I mean,
I was always a girl guy. I didn't chill until 10th grade. I made the decision. I was like, damn.
My water, do I get to drink out?
That's straight vodka. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I was like 10th grade. I was like, I'm so sick of these dudes making fun of me. I'm just going to go talk to the sexiest girl in school. I'll never forget. She rode my bus. I was chilling with a really good friend of mine named Mike Farrell, which shout out to him, by the way, because I think he's going through some medical issues. But anyways, he had, you know, those cool people that had like trailers on their house, but it was like their vacation trailer, but it wasn't, you know, like,
yeah,
like as a kid hanging out in a trailer in the front of his house. It was the coolest thing in the world.
It's like your place. Yeah.
We go in there, and I'll never forget. This was landline days, and I looked her name up in the phone book. Bet. And
you looked her dad's name up in the phone book.
No, she didn't. She literally had her own
private
number.
line.
I didn't know this at the time.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I looked it up, like old school status, phone booked her, find her number, name and the phone number, the thing. He called her, and I said, "Hi, you don't know who I am, but I think that you are absolutely gorgeous, and I would like to know if you would want to come over to my house and watch Dragon Ball Z."
And she said,
"What time is the show at?" And I'll never forget. And that's what I told the guy at Breakaways the other day. Don't stop that. And it has nothing to do about like the D and the V and acquisition of it. It had nothing about that. It's just about when you stop trying to impress and you get around with you, which you enjoy and appreciate, whatever your flavor is, do it. You know, it is sad though. because we're hearing it preached more and more and more, like do what you want, and that's why I have the shirt. You know, I do me. That's the ones that Carla made. I love her. She's so. Do you know someone called me the other day just because she posted that shirt of her and Penelope and Barry, who, by the way, Barry is a real
an unsung hero. Barry and Brady. That's like they should start a club.
Well, I'm a little bit more in love with Barry only because I haven't hugged Brady yet, but Brady, you and I will hug soon. But Barry is literally like the epitome of a celebrity because you don't see him.
Barry's amazing.
I know. And
when he shows up, he just always brings so much. Like he's always like happy. And
we had a dirty stay out one night
with Barry.
And I know that there's like a laundry list of people trying to get all up in that, and I was so honored because we got the call, and Camille and I abducted Carla and Barry. And all I'm gonna say is that it ended up being about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were at Port Waltz, and
I'm just gonna say it ended at Port Waltz. End period. That's it.
It was him and I at the end of the night, totally bromancing. I was watching him watch rugby, which I think I'm in love with soccer. That man loves that rugby. And we were at Port Waltz.
That's where he's from. He's from rugby.
And listen, all those that hate on Port Waltz we've all been there. We know it can be, it is what it is. But you want to ever feel loved? It's the most non-judgmental, chill. You can walk in there and there's a woman who's 60 asking if you want some of her chips. There's a guy in there that's got his Latino feel, and everyone's having a good time.
Can I tell you full disclosure? I've never been. Never.
That was Camille's first time.
I've never walked through that front door. Brady's like,
the smoke is tough.
Well, and I can't do that anymore.
I know. But Camille will even tell you, Mrs. Stowe McStowerson, so loving in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's like that.
Are we doing this one?
I mean,
it's happening. Is it happening?
All right, pause.
I haven't had
a glass of champs and
a beer on the show. I don't think. I always have like a wine or a salute.
It's
Friday. Do you know when the show first started? I was in Anxious City and I thought I was going to have to drink every show.
Stella's paying for us, so we have to put them on.
Now we get kicked off of Facebook.
Yeah, right.
Stella's like, we don't like these people. They said penis. The thing is I started the show, and the original show was bosses online having a sip. And I thought the common denominator was always going to be alcohol. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do a show. Yeah. I did it once or twice, and I was like, I can't do this every day. Did it, and then kind of stopped. I still have that intro saved. I don't use it that much anymore because now I just go straight live. But I dealt with that a lot. When I first started doing guest speaking a lot, I would like drink on the way. Yeah, I was an anxious idiot, man. 100%.
I mean, yeah, I will definitely say there's anxiety, but I think like.
Do you remember the first time you like had to go like
speak in public?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
It's like my thing now. That like you give me a microphone and get out of my way. I am like, hi, hello. It's good to see you all today.
They're like, enough.
Let me tell you about fourth grade. I know I made it through kindergarten through third. And they're like, Megan, it's been 7 hours. Like, come on.
There's no one.
Your mom's the only one listening, and she was there for it.
And like, Brady's like, but do you? I mean, I still get the butterflies about it still, but I do remember the first time I was a wreck, absolute wreck. The night before, I was like,
the night before, you're like. Well, even like today, I was like, what do I wear? Like, who cares what you wear? You know?
But once it's in, you're in, see?
Yeah. Well, and it's just, I think, again, we get caught up with like the superficial things about it. And, you know, it's just like going on video or going on live when you're like people are like, oh, but I've gained 5 pounds. And I'm like, no one knows. Yeah. Or like, but like this or that or whatever things. And it's just, I think the part about it that's why people love it is because it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if I make a video and I fumble over a word.
Go with it.
I do. I roll with it.
That's why I love them.
Yeah, because, see, and that's the thing, though, because, like, everyone's a human, right? And everyone makes mistakes. People think
that there's a, I think it's a decreasing quantity of people, but there's people that think the show's scripted.
This?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. More of the earlier ones.
So don't let them see.
I know. There's a prompter here.
A prompter up.
Scene 3.
Camille, you need to come do the ice.
Sip the beer
ice again. Oh, yeah.
But it's once again the people that what's happening. Oh, that's yours, by the way.
Thanks.
Did I do good with those? I made those.
They're so great.
I designed them and everything.
Flagler podcast.
I wanted Carla to make them, but she said I love her so much. She's like me. She's like, if it's not going to be, it's like too hard or not worth it. And it's cheaper somewhere. She does like what I do. It's like, just get them on here. And I got these made online.
That's a friend right there.
I love her. But
have
anyway,
we talked about Carla Klein and how much we love her yet today?
Whole shows. We should have said Megan Farrell /
we talked
Carla
about Carla.
Klein.
Listen to us talk about Carla Klein and Nick Kimball.
That's
Nick Kimball's
my date
also
tonight.
Carla's your date.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she is your date.
So you know how honored I am to get a phone call.
Where are you guys going?
Text. The gala.
The gala.
I don't know. I thought you were going.
No, I mean I have no idea where you're going.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm going. Who knows?
Maybe you are
I'll
going.
Be there. Listen,
wanna go?
Palms. I know you don't believe in manifestation.
I do, but there it is. Did you just make it happen?
Yeah,
a ticket just appeared.
No, that's serious. That's my Burning Man trick.
I said this to somebody the other day, and I think I shouldn't have said it because I was like, I just don't know. I'm very open and candid. And I was sitting in a meeting the other day, and I said, she's literally the only woman that could have asked me to go. And it was another woman, not my wife, because she doesn't want to go and she doesn't care. Plus, it's Carla. And the other girl I feel like was like,
no, do you know? Have you met Carla? Like,
I know.
It's a very
like
hard.
Literally only.
Have you met somebody who's waken up for the sunset for the last 7 years of her life? And not only that, she's brought it to everyone in our community, and she's brought it to those who aren't even in our community to therefore bring people to our community. So if you want to talk about an economic booster, Flagler Surf, Carla Klein.
But not only that, her appearance, her clothing line is the best. I
have a shirt that says "Don't make me go over the bridge," and I live over the bridge.
But the way she rocks herself, she don't care what you think about the way she look. I love that, and to me, that's the sexiest.
Well, you love yourself, right? And you do what's comfortable for you. So some days
wearing her socks with sandals.
I know tie-dye socks that Penelope made for her, and that's why she's wearing them because P made them. So
you know what's the best? I love when I'm at Flagler Surf and I'm hanging out with Carla and Tommy.
And P walks in.
Their interaction together, Penelope's like 30. And they have this wonderful.
She'll be like, "Have you seen this new shirt, Megan? This new shirt is over." Or like, "Have you seen this new piece of art?" That's like,
she just owns her environment.
Penelope? Yeah, she's honestly. But have you ever tried to get a picture with her?
I don't know. She doesn't want to do it.
She will not.
I do the same thing. I don't want to do pictures.
I have one selfie with Penelope, and it is like.
Well, you got to pay her.
I caught her once, and I was like, "Hey, P," and I took it, and she's like, "No," and I was like, "I got you."
I think you got me on the beach that day.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
For sure. It's like, hey, let's.
I don't think you sent that to me either. You bum for my own stocks photo.
It's on there.
You know what I've been doing that more and more too, and that's what we were talking about. Is just the people that I feel that are quote unquote succeeding, irregardless of financial, like fiscal shit, is just being more real. Like if you're really trying to get your name and brand out there, I get more and more calls and like, what do you like? I want to do it like how you're doing. I'm like, well, you got to be just funky and weird, man. You got to just be.
I think when the second you realize that money is a tool, and money is not the be all end all say all, and like I've been in a position where money wasn't an issue, and I've been in a position where I physically looked like you were supposed to,
right.
And I was probably the most unhappy at that point when I had like money at my fingertips and like looked like a girl in a magazine. Right. But then when you fall in love with your life and realize that money's a tool and like you have to be where you are, right? Like goals are great. I'm like the biggest goal setter ever. Manifestation, open those palms, bring it to me. Can't get anything like this, but here.
I love it.
I have to tell you a story about a Steve Aoki concert in Palms Open.
A Hubas concert?
Steve Aoki.
You say it like I'm supposed to know this.
He's like one of the
aioli guy.
So like,
just like a musician crush man.
He's
like a Dave Matthews
guy.
DJ. Oh, he's a biggity biggity.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh,
you
you make me feel better because I'm still such a. You know what I put on the other day? 90s trance, son.
Listen, Steve Aoki's old school too. That's why. So he's just like this super hard worker. And I was at a Steve Aoki concert because Brady fell in love with him. So we went in Tampa. And I was sitting there talking to like.
Do you paint yourself? You got like the neon paint? Boring.
No. I mean.
Maybe.
Burning Man, maybe. But not in Tallahassee. We were in not Tallahassee, Tampa. So it was all like young kids. And we're in there and we're talking to these people, and somehow it comes up that I'm like a witch. And no, that not really. They told me I was a witch at the end, but we're talking like to these kids in front of us, and I'm like, they said something, and I was like, no. Like I think it was negative self-talk. I was like, stop that. Like so
negative
like,
what?
Self-talk.
Oh,
negative self-talk.
They said cell, like Dragon Ball Z cell.
So we're in line, and I think what like their comment might have been was like, like so many people are in front of us, we're not going to get a good spot. And I was like, what? Like, you're going to get a great spot. Like, believe it. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, palms open. I literally was like, palms open. Like, think about what you can catch like this.
Right.
Like, what can you catch like this?
Nothing.
Right? Maybe like somebody throws like a ring over your arm, but that's their skill on their part. It's not. But if you're like this, like you can grab.
So is this your like MO, huh?
Literally.
I like this.
Like I walk around, like there's times where I like literally open my hands. No, but it's like just subtle. Like I can have them by my side, like open. So I'm like telling, like literally like talking about open palms and like attracting and like, you know, a manifestation. I mean, I don't like the word manifestation because I feel like manifestation
well, it can be abused.
Insinuates that like it's easy and you think about it and it's there. It's no, you have to be. So like attracting to me is you're making efforts in that direction and you attract good things. So you're open to the opportunities, right? So like this means you're open to the opportunity. And I literally was like talking about like, open your palms, like seriously, open your palms. And they opened their palms and their friends walked right back over, open your palms. And they were like, here's a shot. And I was like, done. Like,
see?
And they were like, you're a witch. Like, how did you know that was going to happen? Like, and I'm like, no, that's just one physical example of like life, right? I was, you know, it's just all about attracting. And if you put out good things and you support people, it's going to come back.
That's the only thing. When people really.
Money's easy.
You better be careful now. People are like, F you. Because they say, well, look, here's the thing.
Money, but money.
I know what you mean. It resonates with me. But I'm just telling you, there's a lot of people out there that I'm getting cornered more and more. Great. I love this. I love when people more and more are starting to say, like, how did you do this? Or what? And honestly, it's like, do you want to know? And I'll say this in the privacy of the show, meaning like if you do listen to the show, like legitimately, it has been an absolute blessing that I've been able to give away 3 or 4 of my own cars to families and people that are in need. And that's not something that you'll see me post on Facebook. That's not something you'll see me wear a shirt about. But listen.
I also want to ask you, you have a house at the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a house on the ocean?
Mm-mm.
Could you potentially afford a house closer to the ocean?
In theory, yeah.
Right. You made the decision to have this great pad back here. It's super charming. It's off the beaten path.
Right.
Could you post up on A1A? Yeah, sure. Yeah. But you made the decision to be here.
Right.
And that is why. Like,
well, this all chose me. You want to know the quick story on this?
Again, that's what life.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I try to tell people is that all of this was a miracle.
You guys can tune back in any hour on the hour for the next 48 hours. We will be here talking about our lives.
The people at Facebook are like, they're still going. Here's the little miracle story with this. This house was owned by a woman who tragically died on a motorcycle in Daytona within 6 months of me needing a place to live.
How do you know all of those things?
Because I'm living at 9th Street North in Flagler Beach. I am anxious idiot. I had enough money to pay my rent in full for 6 months for with Camille. I was recently about to be engaged, and we were just coming up to that term. We had renewed. We were probably there for about a year and change, maybe 2. And I knew it was time to move on out. We were living in something a quarter of this size, the whole thing, which was finally time. Like, okay, I got to take this to the next level. Megan, I had no idea where I was going to go. And in theory, I can't afford Flagler, right? I was like, there's no way. And by a lot of prayer and a lot of wrestling with God and a lot of praying about it. Go ahead, girl. You're missing out on deals. Yeah. Get it if you have to. Oh.
I know who they are.
Deal.
They're not deals.
Deal nuts.
It's not a deal killer. It's a
They're
friend.
going somewhere else.
They're probably on, like, look, we got, like, I don't know. Looks like over 10 people watching us right now.
Look.
Hey, open palms. They're coming in.
So you know how Flagler works? I get a phone call from some lady that I barely kind of knew. And she goes, you need to meet this woman. I'm renting from her now. She wants to meet you. I've told her all about you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I meet this woman. She's 80 some odd years old. She immediately is my third grandmother within 10 seconds.
That's about connection.
We come over here, and the place was filthy, but I didn't care. But the minute I walked in, this is post floodage. But which didn't bother me. That's a whole nother learning experience anyways. But my point is I'm walking around, and of course the minute I can just go like this and not touch a wall, I'm like, beautiful.
Sold.
And then the backyard, wait till you see the backyard. You're going to love it. It's a very small house, but the backyard is huge for the dog. So dogs. And it was just one at a time. But here's the crazy thing. This woman says to me, you're going to rent from me. So I don't even know what she's going to charge yet. She says, you're going to rent from me. And you're going to buy this house. And I'm like, lady, I got 10 shekels.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Is it going for 9 shekels? Because, but talk about open palms. So next thing you know, literally it was by expecting nothing and accepting everything. It happened. Yahtzee. And it's crazy. But through her dismay, because it was her daughter's house. Her name was Ursula. She was a big time real estate agent back in the day.
But do you know also how much that probably helped her to know you and to put you here?
So she,
like rather than selling it to a stranger.
And my wife, it was hard for Camille at first because you women are nester pants.
Well, and energy.
And I didn't
Camille's
change.
an energy probably.
But I didn't change anything. She literally, think about this. I have 10 shekels. She gives us everything in the house to the forks, to the toilet paper on the wall.
All right, I would have been on Camille's side with that one. Like, let's change out the silver. We could go get a new pack at Walmart for $25.
Me, because I'm like such a lover pants. There's literally like pictures on the wall. There's not of like a people, but like her shit.
Yeah, like ocean.
And I'm not. And she was over here like every other day, and she hated it. I loved it.
Well, no, because she's like, as like real estate agent, like I get where Camille's coming from because Camille is like, this is my place now. Right. Like you need to move on. We bought a house. The house we bought was the children were the ones who sold it. Sorry, the children were selling the house.
Don't be that close.
Okay, the children were selling the house. So the children were selling the house. We actually, when we bought the first house, and I was the realtor, I was not buying it with him. He was lower than there was multiple offer situation. The other one was cash. It was like 10% higher market value. It was in the C section, and we wrote a letter. I was like, "You want this house?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We just started dating." I'm like,
what the hell is a letter for?
Oh my God, it's a love letter to a house.
What?
Yeah, you've never heard of these things? Palms open. So
this is crazy.
So honestly, this is how I've always won multiple offer situations with our customers. And it's just like, hey, you really want this house, right? Yes. Okay. Well, can you write a letter to the seller telling them why you want the house? Because that's what
Are you letting your bag of tricks out, bro?
You should encourage your people to write letters. Or if you're buying a house, write a letter to the seller. Let them know who you are. No, I typed it up, but you have to hand sign it. Yeah.
So you're writing love letters?
Love letters to a house. Yeah, it's so special. Well, but think about it. Like when you sell or when you're going through a real estate transaction, real estate's stressful no matter where your mindset is, but typically it's like your family's growing, your family's shrinking, you're selling your parents' house who died, you're getting a divorce. Like
I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah.
It's not always a pretty.
No, and that's that's the most challenging part of my job is that I'm a very empathetic person, and so like I absorb all of that.
Do you see this more? Is it more than 50% of like the transactions are out of having versus wanting?
Like necessity, right?
Yeah, like they need to do this.
Well, it's not always like I need to like there's a financial, like it's like different kind of needs. So like, I mean, I'm helping people sell their parents' house, and it's not like I need to sell it because I can't carry it. I need to sell it because I need to move on and let go. And that's a whole nother mindset shift.
But still at these meetings, it's not like Jubilee. It's like.
Not usually. It's usually like, hey, this is going to be really hard, but that's
I was born in this house. Maybe.
I mean, if Elijah ever goes to sell my townhouse, that sucker will be paid off tenfold by the time he goes to sell that thing. But
no selling that house, Elijah.
Well, if he wants to.
But I didn't know that until recently, as I've started to engage more and more as we're adulting, and you talk to people once again, irregardless of the fiscal, just saying like, what's your life like? I thank God, and I say that because I sincerely don't know if I could handle that. I think I'd only deal with most of it's like kind of happier, like we're starting something or we're trying. You're kind of you get the phone call like I just heard recently too by a friend of mine that's in this game, the real estate game, that you get people too that are like over under or whatever, that the whole like they have to sell and they're not even going to make money.
That's short sales are really hard. This year we had a couple.
That's what they're called?
Short sale when you own.
So if I owe, let's just say I owe 200 and I can only sell for
150. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a short sale. And there's only 7.
Do you still get commissions and stuff on that?
Yeah, we just write it into the contract. The bank ultimately can change our commissions, but to be honest with you, they understand it's short sales a lot. Short sale, I don't know why they name it short sale because it's always like a year long. It's not like it's like a long sale.
It's a longer process.
But I've been fortunate with the short sales that I've been a part of. They have been very respectful to our professional job as like facilitating it, but like I also have performed. So like if I'm doing a short sale and I get an offer at X, the bank's going to want to see, is the house worth X, even though they get owed, you know what I mean? Like they owe here and like here's where
there's a lot of logistics in that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's a lot more work on the real estate agent's part, and especially with managing the fears and expectations, because ultimately that is my job as a real estate professional. As I'm a consultant, I'm a manager of fears and expectations, and I'm a negotiator.
Therapist.
Manager of fears and expectations.
Boom.
Yeah, therapist. Open palms. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It got to me I will tell you, the last like 3 weeks have just.
It got you.
Yeah.
It's in the air. Thank you for sharing this.
Because
you're welcome.
January's lasted 18 years.
Listen, the few people that
years.
I very, very, very rarely ask. When I ask people how they are, I want to know, like, once again, are you pooping frequently? That's a good thing. I don't get into like, how's your first quarter? But
how much money have you made this year?
Are you rich? But it's really interesting. There seems to be some juju in the air.
Yeah, I think there's just.
What is it?
I don't know. I think that, the new year comes with self-reflection. And I think that, like oftentimes with self-reflection, that doesn't look safe, by the way.
Yeah, people don't know what we're looking at.
It's fine. All right. Anyways, did that look safe to you?
No,
wrong side of the road.
Yeah,
there's a sidewalk. There's someone. Yeah.
Let it be.
Anyway,
can't say bomb on an airplane, bro.
Let it be. Palms open. So we're watching Flagler Surf.
We're watching cartoons.
Yeah, it's Tasmanian Devil Dynamite.
I actually never really look at this during the show. I'm so engaged with the guests. We really do have a beautiful home, huh?
We do. We're lucky.
And Carla just changed it. You can like really get all up in the spacious here. Like I could like this guy over here. That's husband, wife, daughter for sure. I'm such a people watcher.
Oh my God.
Husband, wife, daughter. Visiting from Michigan.
Our next episode is going to be.
Oh, we're doing episode 2?
Duh.
Carla's
but it's going to be on mine. I get to be.
Are you doing it?
Like a podcast?
Yeah. I want you to.
Will you encourage me? Will you help me? Will you support me through it?
I'm pushing you to. You know what's really been sad? So many people have come on this show and they say, that was so fun. I'm going to do a show. And I give them all my tips and tricks, which isn't much. Like I say, these are the mics. I'm all about really inexpensive with the best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I give them all my arsenal, what I do, and no one's doing it. Get busy, people. If it's really on your heart, just do it. And even
you want a Flagler County Working Mama show? You want a mama show, a women's show in Flagler County? I got you.
Listen, Lady O shows, man, are killing it. Women love listening to women. Look at Ellen. Look at Oprah.
I know.
Come on now.
Oprah's like. So I've never been.
Did you watch Ricky Lake growing up?
Oh my God, Ricky Lake.
You remember her?
Yeah, I do.
The Lady Jerry Springer.
So it's like a podcast, kind of like a talk show back was then.
I don't know.
It's like a talk show.
I suggest podcasts being in the video though. Most of the people, I had a guy call me the other day, which was really been nice. These are happening more and more. A guy from out of nowhere calls me and he's like, hey man, I'm trying to push a particular product, this and that. I've heard a lot about your show. He's in Orlando, Winter Park. And I guess Winter Park is fancy pants. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm bad with.
It's fancy.
So
it's nice.
I was there the other day out in my pajamas and you'd be proud of me. So about it. And girls like, you look great. I'm like, these are my pajamas. But Winter Park.
I haven't showered in 3 days. Thanks.
Yeah, don't get close. But Winter Park's really fancy pants. This guy calls me and he had to make sure he's like, I'm Winter Park. And I said, whoa. So now I know he's fancy pants. But my point is this. He goes, oh, your show's like on video? I said, yes. He goes, I think people are a little bit more hesitant because it's real. I mean, look, I know that there are 90% of the time the angle ain't good. I probably don't look the best at this because it's tough. You're literally being recorded.
You got my bad side. This is
Is
my
that
bad.
really?
Yeah.
What should I do? I was thinking about moving it to the couch.
Oh, you should nothing.
What? Oh, all right. Thank you. Because I don't know what to do. Look, I got the little thing up there.
Okay, so I come in and I'm like, so this is like behind the scenes. I'm like sitting here like, I got to get my Facebook Live thing right. Like, what should I write? What should I write? This is my bad side. He's like, all right, and we're going live. 3, 2, 1. And I'm like,
boom,
okay.
This is what we would be doing without the show.
Well, and when was the last time in your entire life that someone face to face was like, I need to sit on the other side because this is your bad side? No.
If anything, you'd like switch sides because of the sun, tan one side, tan the other.
Right. But like, I think that's just all in our heads.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, too, look, I was talking to Jimmy about this the other day. Look at.
Can we have this episode be dedicated to Jimmy and Amy? Because we've talked about that. And Carla.
Jimmy, and Carla. Jacqueline. What's her clothing brand?
Oh, inspired by Jacqueline. And also,
I can even see the logo.
It's going to be all handwritten. Have you ever seen her handwriting?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
But she does look very fashionista lately. That red dress. What was she talking about?
Last night?
I didn't listen to it. You were there?
Yeah.
See, you go to things.
That's because I love and support my people. That's why you go to them,
I wasn't invited to that.
Oh, next time. But our episode, this podcast is dedicated to Jimmy and Amy and baby James.
To the guy that doesn't have Facebook.
Yeah, to the guy who doesn't have Facebook. We'll text you it. Carla Klein, MP, and Jacqueline, inspired by Jacqueline, Santafanti, and also Mr. Mary Poppins himself, Nicholas Kimball. Thank you, Nicholas, for your support on this episode.
Nick will only come on the show once I have like Joe Rogan on.
Nick,
I know.
He's
Nicholas.
He is Mary Poppins. Ask him; he'll tell you. We love you.
I love that he said, "I'm fucking Mary Poppins."
I mean,
because he has that he can do that.
Yeah.
So good for you, Nicholas.
But for real, like
for real.
When he posted that, both of you and I were like,
isn't it funny? We were literally talking about it.
We were like, y'all don't know. Like he puts that online, but y'all don't know the Nick Campbell.
He's a teddy bear.
He is.
He's such a teddy bear.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, he is.
So, all right, back to Jimmy.
And
that concludes our advertisements.
Now back to the show.
Stella.
I was talking with Jimmy the other day, and like, look, let who out there, and if you are, then God bless you. If you feel like you look the best now, then good. But my point is, who doesn't want to shed a pound or two? Who doesn't want to? And Jimmy and I know, but look, at the end of the day, Jimmy reminds me and I remind him, we got it.
Yeah.
And everyone's got it. Just do it.
Love you. It's all you. It's not the stuff.
Isn't it funny that even
it's not the clothes? Even though like I was stressed about the clothes.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you said something very nice today. You wore that because you feel good in it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're humans.
Yeah.
Like you want to feel good. But there is a sense of you have to really do separate yourself sometimes and realize that like no one really does care. Isn't it funny how fast you scroll?
You got 3 seconds, I think. I think it's actually less than that. I think it's like 1.5 seconds to catch someone's attention.
And I mean, no one's like literally you can post a photo and look the most horrendous. And by the time they looked at it, they're on to the next. So no one really cares anyways.
No.
Unless you're on the side of a billboard or a bus, maybe you should try a little bit, like
probably brush the hair.
Like maybe smile on that one. Yeah. But for the most part, I'm more into the quantity over quality content wise, pushing it out on the internet.
Your quantity?
Now moving, I changed. I used to be quality.
I'm a little bit, I agree with the quantity, but I also have changed my perception of quality. So my quality.
You always bitch for brown.
I know, right? Hands open. I'm telling you right now. So like, I'm like, oh, I need these filters.
What's your necklace say, by the way?
Oh.
I keep trying to read. It's a lot of letters.
Babe. Stop. Are you ready? Are you ready for why I have this necklace? Okay. So this is like the best story ever. One of my really good friends, Julie, she is a realtor with EXP in California.
Her name we don't know her.
Julie Odell.
No.
You would love her.
Yeah.
Everyone would love her here. So she's in California. She is just like she is just us. Like she's like giver and energy and positive. And if you ever see her, she's smiling and she's happy and fun and just like you love to be around her. You want to because she's just like giving off this positive energy. Well, I was going through my stuff
And she sends me this package. It has a necklace, it has a planner.
Boss babe.
It has glitter, has like all the things.
Girls do this for girls.
Oh my God. Do you know how I felt when I opened that thing?
Powerful.
I felt like.
Is this a girl? This is a girl. Camille gets packages from her girlfriend sometimes. I'm like, why? It's not Christmas. It's not a birthday. Yeah, you guys are just like hamstering. You're just sending packages of stuff. You guys are what keeps Amazon alive.
This one wasn't Amazon. This was stuff she had bought.
I know
even
that.
A level up of like, she didn't just like send me some stuff on a website. She
put it together. No, she's getting the same thing.
And you open it and it's like glitter and sequins everywhere. I'm like, my kid's gonna die, but thank you so much for sending this.
That's a very nice thing that you women do with that. Guys do not do that, I don't think.
So I found this Boss Babe, right? No, guys don't do that shit. But I found, like, I opened this Boss Babe necklace and I'm like, I'm never wearing a Boss Babe choker because it's a choker. It's not a necklace. It's a choker.
It's middle school.
I'm like,
looks good on you,
right? So
it's very catching. You keep wanting to read it.
Well,
it's hard to read. It goes the whole.
I know. So I put it on, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna wear this. Like, at least, like, you know, she bought it for me. It's a gift. I should wear it. Like 3 days into it. And not dissing the gift. It's just like one of those, like, how do I wear this professionally, Boss Babe? Like, what, you know, it's just like that perception thing. But it was in my head, right?
Right.
So my friend's daughter, she's 8. She's like, and the other daughter's 5. And they asked me, like, Megan, what does your necklace say? And I was like, oh, it says Boss Babe. And they're like, Boss Babe? And they like perked up and they're walking around. They're like, I'm a Boss Babe. I'm a Boss Babe. And all of a sudden I see these little girls owning their Boss Babe, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep this necklace on.
So you're giving these younger women.
I don't think
birthday.
Well, it made. I guess that's like one of those things. Like, I gave them the courage to walk around and say that. So now I'm like,
because you were hesitant to wear it, Boss Babe, huh?
I was.
I know a Boss Babe. She she wrote the book. She was on the show. She wrote a book called Boss Babe, or You Don't Need a Dick in Business, something like that. Talk about a boss babe.
Yeah, that's
her name's
babe.
Krista Goodrich.
It's a boss move.
She's in Ormond. You don't know who this woman is? You guys would be a supernova effect. She's a sweetness of love.
Yeah, she wrote a book called You Don't Need a Dick in Business.
Yeah.
She's right up my
Maybe it wasn't the title, but it definitely was the caption. That I know for a fact. And fierce woman, everything she's touching is the Midas effect. It's like, and once again, I don't know if it's like making a bazillion bucks, but it looks good and it's busy. She's got the palette club. She's got the hop cycles, e-cycles, and Daytona.
Hop cycle.
Boom shakalaka. Boom da boom da boom.
I know.
See?
Connections being made all over.
We have new sound effects during this show. Speaking of sound effects, tangent. You know what I've been watching because it comes up.
Here we go.
Howard Stern.
No,
you can't do it.
I can't do it.
Why?
Every now and then he's just like, I mean, like
he's grimy.
He is, but do you know what the other thing is though? Like he asks the questions that you want to ask. So like he's got someone up there doing that Sibian thing, and he's asking that, you know.
That's old.
But like that's Howard Stern.
I know.
You said Howard Stern.
That's true. That's 100%. He has to own that, and I think he kind of. It's funny because he's transitioned on Howard. Let's just call it like Howard Stern, whatever 2.0. Yeah, 2.0, 3.0, whatever it is. But my point, you know, he interviews people now. Like he had Hillary Clinton on, and this is that. And like those are obviously she's not riding no Sibian, you know. So he's evolved to not yet. Maybe that was the.
One step in. Palms open.
And not wait to see the end. But no, it's what I enjoy about him is that he does ask. I mean, he probes. Like he had what's his name on Iron Man the other day. What's his name? Come on, I know I'm not really big in the celebrity names. Whoever Iron Man is.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, you knew the whole time?
No, I didn't.
You were holding out?
I just was thinking.
Do you have a celebrity crush? Mine is Jennifer Aniston. Not a lot of.
I know Brady's.
Who is it?
Mila Kunis.
Who's that?
Yeah, she's like short and like.
Is that the Fast and Furious girl?
No, she's Ashton Kutcher's wife. She was on.
What do we know of her?
She looks exactly.
The girl that was in the show with
her.
She's
like this big. She's got dark hair and tiny and petite.
Exactly like you.
Then here we are.
No, who? Well, whatever. I don't know who she is. Who's your celebrity crush?
I don't really have. I don't know.
Camille likes the guy from The Office. There's a lot of girls' secret. Jim, I think. Babe, you like that guy Jim from The Office, right?
Matthew McConaughey.
He's timeless though.
He is.
He's old news.
I don't know. I guess I think I'm telling you,
Do you watch TV?
We're gonna have to do a Burning Man. Burning Man podcast. You want to come on up? You want to be on the show? But we're gonna have to do a Burning Man podcast on like all the life lessons I've learned from Burning Man, and it's just like celebrities. Like they're, don't get me wrong, super cool to see somebody who you see on like this.
TV you're not into it. I love it. I can taste it.
You're a person, right?
Yeah, you don't care. What do you watch TV?
I'm Netflix. Does that count?
Yeah. Do you have a show?
Oh.
There it is.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Do you have people on your phone like that too? Or unless did it say guy at the end?
No, it says the last name.
Oh, I have people on my phone as a lot of guy and girl, and then it helps me realize like, oh, that's such and such guy.
I put like I'll put your first and last name on your top line, and then we'll put like how I met you.
I do that too. Like all my soccer dudes are, such and such, because we have a lot of names.
Do you want to know what Amy's? Speaking of Amy, since you brought her up,
back to our
sponsors of the show, Amy. She's in my phone as Amy Run. She's been in my phone as Amy Run since I met her.
I do the same thing. I consolidate people with their category.
Trish Run.
Is she still Runner Pants?
Out. We all did that whole growing a human thing, but we'll get
you
there.
You guys grew those humans.
We grew humans. Amy's like she never missed a beat.
I told Jimmy the other day, I said, she looks good. I even texted her. I texted her a photo of FaceTiming with James. Baby. And I said,
she love it. She was like,
she goes, I know she's probably working and doing 1,000 things. And she goes, oh my God, are you at the house? And I was like, no. I said, no, I'm FaceTiming. Or I said, no. But I said, P.S. And me, I always have to just remind you. I said, she looks good. Not that she never has.
Listen, let me tell you about Amy. She had the baby, and the next day I saw her.
Maybe she didn't have the baby. Maybe she had the palms out. It came from the. The sparrow, or who brings the baby?
The sparrow. The pelican. Is it a pelican? No, it's a stork. It's a stork. The sparrow.
It would be a pelican for us, but it's not a sparrow.
And the pelican, he carries it in his thing.
Little pouch.
No, but Amy's just bomb.com always. I don't know why did I bring her back up?
We were talking about our sponsors.
Phone. Yeah, sponsors. Talking about the phone ringing. Yeah, she's Amy Run. And I've got Christina Mortimer's Christina Run.
I can't address her that way. I'm sorry.
Is she Zinzi to you?
Always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud that I knew her maiden name, because she's just Christina Run in my phone.
Yeah, no, Zinzi was Zinzi growing up. She still will always be Zinzi. She'd probably kill me for saying this, but Zinzi and Matthew Robinson were they were forced to be reckoned with in high school. They were in love with each other. It was a beautiful couple.
I would kill you for saying
110%. But I don't care. It's my show.
I was just going to talk about how great our half marathon was the other week.
But I love her. Zinzi and I don't have to say much when we look at each other.
She's another one of my mom tribe.
She's your mom tribe?
She is my mom tribe. Her babies are not little itty bitty babies, but they're 7-year-old babies, and her daughter's birthday's today.
She has 2 kids?
Yeah. Autumn's birthday is today. She's 7.
I'm really bad with everyone's kids.
No, you're not.
Everyone's got 3
that.
kids.
No.
To me.
Oh.
When doesn't Jimmy have 3? Let's see.
Jimmy, our sponsor.
I wish he had Facebook, because you know what he does? Just like
everyone.
Matthew Robinson. Yeah. I guess he's a sponsor today too. He didn't have Facebook, but he would always ask me to send him. He'd be like, hey man, send me the, and I'm like, okay. Jimmy did the same thing. You're like, oh, how's this going? And who's this person? I'm like, just get the book, man. Then you can spy on everybody.
Can we also add another sponsor to the crew of people who don't have Facebook? Nicole O'Brien. If you had Facebook, you could be watching this right now. Nicole O'Brien. Just putting that
Where's she at?
She's in Flagler. Is she
Megan approved?
She is like Megan, her Jack.
Our sound effects today, our publicist is doing
just in
wonderful.
Case you're wondering, it is not a machine. It is us making those noises. We're gonna have to do round 2 of this, because I don't know, are people gonna turn this off?
I don't really care.
2.5 hours. Do we got anything?
Yeah, a lot of texts.
Anything good?
A lot of things. People are like, this is the worst guest you ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the show off.
Mm-hmm.
Rated R.
Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you all for watching.
But we did it's 2:30, son.
It's 2.5 hours. 2 hours? 2.5 hours?
I don't know. I don't keep track. But what a show. See? We knew this was going to happen, though.
Listen, I know. We were talking earlier about it being 4 hours. And honestly, we probably could talk for another 2 hours, which is why I think that maybe All right. Hold on.
Carla,
we need to thank our other sponsor, Stella. Thank you.
Stella, thank you for. Are you empty already?
Is yours?
No.
Oh, it is.
You sounded hollow.
Oh no, we're the same.
Let me see.
We're the same.
Not a quarter. I was a little slacking.
Listen, all right, ready
what?
for the multiple challenge back to each other? You challenged me to start a podcast, correct?
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna challenge you to be my first guest.
Really? You'd be like, you wouldn't be the first one to say that I'm going to be on your show and then not do it.
No,
so
you're not. You're not just going to be on my show. You're going to be the first guest.
I would love to.
Aww.
Where are you going to have it?
We could do home.
I don't like remote locations. I don't feel safe.
No,
I don't want to be at like.
Well, I have an office here in Flagler Beach. I could do it there.
Where you at? What's it called?
It's called Ripple.
Yep, you're there. You have your own little spot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do it there.
We are currently.
I want your table, my story.
All right, we can do on my back lanai.
What's your kid's name again? Zion.
Elijah.
That's what I said. He'll be there. It's okay.
Sometimes he will. Sometimes he won't.
I would love to be on your show. I would love you to do the show. You should. What are your doubts? What do you need? You want to know how inexpensive this stuff is? Cheapo. Not that I think it's a fiscal thing burdening you, but just so you know, 50-50, $12, $30 for the light, and then you got the Mac. You just have to fix your hater blocker.
I have a camera cover.
I love that.
I just have one.
Oh my god!
It also brands me real.
But no, like literally, that's what I use.
Well, no, I just think it's one of those things that I've been like, it'd be cool. Just like, oh, I should start a Facebook group. And then like this mom's ones came across me, and I've been wanting to do. Listen, the sweet people at Vessel have heard me talk to them about coming in and doing a commercial for their restaurant for like 2 or 3 years, and I haven't done it because I'm in my own damn way, right? But like Vessel Food, adult. They have an adult grilled cheese. Where else? Like I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter where in the world you're listening.
Back to our sponsors.
Adult grilled cheese.
Vessel. We've had a lot of sponsors today.
We have so many sponsors. Name drop. So yeah, but I know I should. On top of the little TV show I'm starting, and it's just fun, right? It's connecting. I'm all about connecting. So
I told Camille this. What's happening now?
There's still people watching.
Hey. Yeah, I don't even keep track anymore because.
Well, I didn't even until I looked over and there's like a little number in the corner.
Yeah, see, people care.
It's real.
Well, the crazy thing is a lot of people can't watch it in the moment because people do have jobs. Duh. I get that a lot. Like, well, you go live during the day. I got to work. I go, I know, but that's my work, and then you can watch it later.
Mm-hmm. Do you know there's only I think it's like 2 or 3% of lives are actually watched while they're live.
No one's really watching it,
but people watch it after.
Yeah. That's what the point is.
That is the beauty of social media.
Yeah. But honestly, too, no joke. Rogan says it. I stole it from him. Even if nobody watched today's episode, I still love you, and it was great to see you. That's what I did it for. Because I told you when I saw you on the beach, I was like, I like to see you. I miss, it wasn't a very long stint, but I enjoyed being able to have banter with you at Fuego. And it was always during the day, and you were slow as hell because it was just like a Tuesday at 2 or something, And I enjoyed you. I enjoyed your company.
That was like my in between real estate job.
Yeah. And I didn't even know. You did a very good job. I probably asked you, but I don't retain a lot of negativity, and I have negative amnesia anyway. So I probably knew about the whole kerfuffle that you were going through, boy wise. But you always were able to be Stoic McStoic, and you executed greatness.
That relationship, I am super, super grateful for.
Yeah,
I will never say negative things. It's like
it taught you.
Yeah. Well, and I met him when I was 23. I was with him until I was 28, on and off. Mm-hmm. And he helped me move down here. He helped me get on my feet. He helped me get into real estate. And sure, were there flaws with him? Of course, were there flaws with me? Yeah, absolutely. And I just, timing is a huge part of everything in life, right? And I think our timing was off. And I, to this day, I appreciate and I have love for him. And, I hope that someday he knows that, because it is. It's super.
He'll know. But
the appreciation is important because it is. It's like everybody who is in your life is in there for a reason. It's either they're there to teach you a lesson, or they're help you to get to the next place, or they're there forever, right? Or
could be entertainment.
Or entertainment. So like there's a couple of reasons that people are in your life and I refuse. I absolutely refuse. No, this is like one of the
No, it's a good thing. I can feel it.
This is the only time you'll see me with my fist closed. I refuse to admit or refuse to like accept that there's anything that happens to you in your life just to be negative or just to hurt you or just to let you down.
Oh, on that same note, don't let me forget. I heard a guy yesterday at the meeting that he goes, do you know what they teach race car drivers? I said, no, because I'm not a race car fan. He says, don't look at the wall.
Oh, because guess where you're going?
Something so easy.
Anyone can find the dirt in somebody. Be the one to find the gold.
I love finding the dirt though, because I don't like get dirty with it. But the dirt helps me.
You can acknowledge, like if it's like a positive reason.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like.
But you know what I mean? Like anyone can find dirt.
I know
like
what you're saying.
You can talk. Like listen, I could talk about any person ever if I so choose to look at my life that way. But the second you start going negative, everything's negative. And that is going to be the first episode of our podcast.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is episode 1.
Sponsored. The next episode will also be sponsored by Amy and Jimmy. They don't know yet.
People have been.
Do you know why though? Because we've got some amazing people in our lives.
They're lucky to have us.
I mean, yeah.
So did we do it? Let's see here. So what is it that you do again? Do you
if I had to like give you my elevator pitch?
Yeah.
I'm a mom.
Uh-huh.
I'm a wife.
Boom.
I'm a realtor.
Bam.
I'm a leader.
Ooh.
And I'm a friend. 5 words right there, who I am.
And you are someone who I like very, very much.
Thank you.
Did we do it?
I think we did it. I think we did it like not too much, but
who knows if we did or not? Maybe we got
cares?
kicked off.
Let's see.
Bam.
Exit to full screen. What do we got? Oh, look, there's
this one. Look. Boom.
Oh, bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
This one. Sometimes it doesn't cut off lately.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Oh, look.
We're still on?
Chance. Yeah, I think so. Chance is like, hey, Chance, knock him down. Don't take that from him.
Get down. Don't take no crap for no one. All right. We still got some mine, so I'm going to end mine too.
Lately,
oh my gosh, we got lots of people on here.
Yeah?